Hello, everyone.
Hello again.
Hello.
Hello.
And
Welcome to another episode of.
This is the Circle Podcast.
My name is James. It is your host, Philip.
My name is Daniel.
Like always, I'm here with my best friends.
All right. So today will be a pretty fun episode.
I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways, goodbye.
Goodbye, party people.
See ya.
No one
Welcome.
is completely disciplined,
Shit.
although Biden has run a
This
very
is
disciplined
the
campaign,
last episode
aided in
these
part by
debates.
the fact that we're in the middle of this pandemic. But
this is the
if
final
they stick to
debate
their plans, then
between
each one of them
Donald Trump
could make
and
inroads,
Joe
I
Biden.
think. But that's a wild card.
Yeah,
And I have to
truth
say,
is
I'm
Joe
actually
Biden
pretty excited for this
has
one
run a
for some
pretty
reason.
disciplined campaign up until this point, and his
I feel like,
debate performances-
the first one was the trial run.
The primary campaign
This one is kind of like
President Trump, though, on the other hand, has rejected,
they have a more
as Dana has reported, the
consistent
kind of formal
plan,
debate
each of
prep
them,
that you
hopefully.
really need to do
And the
in
mics are
order
muted,
to
so that might
navigate
be a
the
big thing.
situation.
Or it could be detrimental to
He
them.
has had a couple of opportunities in the
But,
last week. A 60 Minutes interview.
yeah, we have,
to articulate
James isn't
the
here,
stand for
but we have
dealing with
Philip
the
here.
virus.
Yeah. Hello, friends, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Before we get too deep into this episode, please follow us on the gram at the Circle Pod and find us on YouTube, please. The Circle Podcast. We appreciate everyone that watches the video format. You are amazing. Thank you so much. Everyone that listens over there in India, I see you, man. Thank you. Thank you. You have given us our second month in a row of over 400 downloads.
India?
You are all amazing. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you enjoy us.
Yeah.
But as Andy said, James is not here, so it's a two-man party watching this debate. These people that we won't say the broadcast that we're watching this from, they were just asked what they hope to see from the candidates. What do you hope to see?
I hope to see more, I guess,
before the last debate,
like explanations of what they're actually talking about, Kind of like the vice president debate.
Yeah. What bothers me most about these debates is that they dance around their answers, right? They never truly get to anything that explains what they're going to do, how they're going to do it. So, of course, everyone hopes that they'll explain in some capacity how they're going to do those things, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
I forgot his name. I don't know these people's names. But the whole muting the mic thing, I think that is going to be a very I think it's going to be detrimental to Joe Biden because I feel like the last debate, Trump interrupting actually helped Biden because really you just got to let the man talk.
Yeah.
He's so old that he'll just like he's just like that grandpa that you just get him rambling and next thing you know you're in a completely different story.
He's talking about World War II.
Yeah. And not interrupting, I feel, is going to hurt Trump because, that's what basically won him the nomination in the first election. It's just people just love that he's just like, I don't know, against the system or...
Yeah, he's not very...
presidential.
Yeah. Presidential, like... I'm not gonna lie, okay? There's some things Trump said are pretty funny.
Dude, the man's
like,
hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
He's the greatest troll we've ever seen touch the stage.
Okay, it's starting.
Good evening from Belmont University in Nashville,
So I'm not sure who's commentating it.
Kristen Welker. I was just about to say her name. I think she's from NBC.
Yeah, NBC White House correspondent and debate moderator.
Yeah. She is definitely not the biggest fan of Donald Trump. So the other thing that bothers me too about these debates is I hate when the one party that isn't like that much gets the more hard questions. Like I expect a fair debate, and I expect the same kind of difficulty in questions.
Yeah.
The VP debate, I think, was done well.
Yeah.
The
That's
first
a-
debate, I feel like, was done well too.
I don't mean to cut you off, but they came out and it's such a fucking like a media move with Joe Biden comes out with the mask and and he takes it off.
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
sets it, Donald Trump just doesn't.
This debate will cover 6 major
Sorry,
topics.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's all good.
Each section, each candidate will have 2 minutes.
But yeah, they both walked out,
uninterrupted to
and
answer my
Joe
first
Biden
question.
walked
The
out
debate
with the
commission
mask,
will
and
then
Donald Trump
turn on
didn't.
their microphone only when
But,
it is their turn to answer.
Joe
The
Biden made
commission will
sure
turn it off exactly
he got the
when
mask
2 minutes have expired.
on
After that,
and
both
the taking of it
microphones
off
will remain
on
on. But on
camera.
behalf of the voters, I'm going to ask you to please speak one at a time. The goal is for you to hear
We'll
each
see.
other and for the American people to hear every word of what you both have to say. And so with that, if you're ready, let's start. And we will begin with
It's crazy,
the
man. This dude had
President
COVID.
coronavirus.
Yeah.
Trump, the first question
Our
is for
president.
you.
Yeah, our fucking president had
The
COVID.
country is
But
heading
you think
into
of like the
a
UK, the
dangerous
prime
stage.
minister,
More
he
than
fucking got
40,000
COVID too.
Americans
Did he?
are in the
Yeah.
hospital tonight with COVID, including record numbers here in
I wonder if
Tennessee.
that's gonna be a
And since
question
the
to
two
him.
of you last shared a
His
stage,
COVID
60,000
experience or-
Americans have died from COVID. So please be specific. How would you lead the country during this next stage of the coronavirus crisis? 2 minutes uninterrupted.
So, as you know, 2.2 million people modeled out were expected to die. We closed up the greatest economy in the world in order to fight this horrible disease that came from China. It's a worldwide pandemic. It's all
Joe
over the
Biden
world.
already
You
wants
see
to say,
the
"Shut
spikes
up."
in Europe and many other places right now.
Dude, I can never get past Joe Biden's face. I feel like he's like a very old baby. You know, just his eyes. You know.
The excess mortality rate is way down and much lower than almost any other country. And we're fighting
here
it.
kicking
We're
my
fighting
soda.
it hard. There is a spike. There was a spike in Florida, and it's now gone. There was a very big spike in Texas. It's now gone. There was a very big spike in Arizona. It's now gone.
The question was, how would you lead during the next stage of the
They
coronavirus?
will soon be gone. We have a vaccine that's coming. It's ready. It's
I did
going to be
see an
announced within
article
weeks,
about,
and it's going to be delivered. We have
I think one of the
Operation
vaccines
Warp Speed,
moving
which is
towards,
the military is going
I
to
think
distribute
human
Clinical
the vaccine.
trials?
Yeah,
I
clinical
can tell
trials. There you
from
go. I was
personal
about to say human trials.
experience that, I was in the
good.
hospital. I had it.
Yeah.
And I got better. And I will tell you that I had something that they gave me, a therapeutic, I guess they would call it. Some people could say it was a cure. But I was in for a
Oh,
short
geez,
period
don't
of
say
time.
that,
I
dude.
had a very
He's built
fast
different,
start
man.
here tonight. And now they say I'm immune. Whether it's 4 months or a lifetime, nobody's been able to say that. But
Well,
I'm
apparently you
immune.
got it fucking
More and
injected
more
with stem
people
cells.
are getting better. We have a problem that's a worldwide problem. This is a worldwide problem. But I've been
Some people would call it the cure.
the
Fuck, dude.
With the if you take a look at what we've done in terms of goggles and masks and gowns and everything else. And
I don't know why hearing the word goggles made you
laugh. All over the world, thousands and thousands
Goggles?
a month, distributing them all
Wait,
over
what?
the world. It will go away. And
For,
as
like-
I
I
said,
think he's talking.
PPE.
Yeah, I think he's talking about
we're
PPE.
rounding the corner. It's going away.
Okay, former Vice
Is that-
President
well,
Biden,
is-
to you,
I-
how
Is that how you can contract this? Through your fucking eyes?
I think at first that's what they're saying, right? If you get like someone spit in your eye, I think they say
What
you can
the
contract
hell?
it that way. That's like one of the theories way back, like a couple months ago.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it's still the case.
In fact, not
Man, that's like
saying
some zombie shit.
I take no responsibility in this.
It's like some 21 days later.
Dude, that movie fucked me up when I was younger.
United States of America. We're in a situation where there are 1,000 deaths a day now. 1,000 deaths a day. And there are over
Prove it.
70,000 new cases per day. Compared to what's going on in Europe, as the New England Medical Journal said, they're starting from a very low rate. We're starting from a very high rate. The expectation is we'll have another 200,000 Americans dead between now and the end of the year. If we just wore these masks, the president's own advisors have told him, we could save 100,000 lives. And we're in a circumstance where the president thus far and still has no plan, no comprehensive
Already
plan.
attacking, huh?
What I would do is make sure we have everyone encouraged to wear
How do you model that,
masks
though? How do you
all the
model,
time. I
like,
would
a-
make sure we move in the
If
direction
every
of
American
rapid
wears a
testing,
mask, we
investing
can
in
save
rapid
100,000
testing. I would
lives.
make sure
I was thinking to myself, what about the other 100,000 that you're talking about?
Yeah,
you know?
that too, yeah.
Said
Said
200,000 would die by the end of the year.
Financial resources to be able to do
End of the
that.
year?
We're in a
God
situation
damn, it's almost
now
over.
Right around the
where
corner.
The New England Medical Journal, one of the most serious journals in the whole world.
I'm fairly
says for the first time
surprised,
ever,
like
the way this
like
president
Trump
has
isn't,
responded
you
to
know,
this crisis has been
talking shit even though his
absolutely
mic is
tragic.
muted.
So, folks,
Yeah.
I will take care of this. I will end this. I will make sure we have a plan.
President Trump, I'd like to follow up with
I will
you
make
on
sure
your
we have a
comments. You
plan.
talked about taking a therapeutic.
Isn't the
I assume you're
question-
referencing Regeneron. You also
How?
said a vaccine
Yeah.
What's the plan?
within weeks.
What is
that
the
a
plan?
guarantee?
No, it's not a guarantee, but it will be by the end of the year. But I think it has a good chance. There are two companies, I think, within a matter of weeks, and it will be distributed very quickly.
Can you tell us which companies?
Johnson & Johnson is doing very well. Moderna is doing very well. Pfizer.
Oh, I heard about that. Heard about Johnson & Johnson.
Others. Then we also have others that we're working on very closely with other countries, in particular Europe.
Let me follow up with you because this is new information. You have said a vaccine is coming soon within weeks now. Your own officials say it could take well into 2021 at the earliest for enough Americans to get vaccinated. And even then, they say the country will be wearing masks. And
You said within
distancing
weeks.
into
You didn't say how many.
2022. Is your timeline realistic?
No, I think my timeline is going to be more accurate. I don't know that they're counting on the military the way I do, but we have our generals lined up, one in particular that's the head of logistics. And this is a very easy distribution for him. He's ready to go as soon as we have
Easy
the vaccine.
distribution.
And we expect to have 100 million vials. As soon as we have the vaccine, he's ready to go.
Vice President Biden,
Do you
your
think when that thing
reaction
comes
is
out that people are
48%
gonna be
of
lining up for it?
Americans say they would definitely agree to take a coronavirus vaccine if it was
I feel
approved
like
by the government.
I'm kind of
What
comparing it
steps
to the
would
flu
you take
shot.
to give Americans confidence
You
in the
know, like
vaccine?
I feel like not a lot of people are thrilled to have the flu shot.
Transparent.
Yeah.
Have the science
Shit, dude. Every time they tell me I need to get my shot done, I'm like, I'll do it next time.
And by the way,
You know?
Yeah, I've never had a flu shot.
That's not because I'm against vaccines or anything. It's just
last time. This is the same
I don't want to get a fucking shot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've just-
but
I don't know.
I don't know. For me,
He has no clear plan, and there's no.
I get very worrisome about putting anything in my body, you know, like that, like willingly, because God forbid if like I did that and you know something terrible happened where I died, dude, I would come back and fucking, I would,
From coming in heavily infected.
I would just be so pissed. I would be so pissed.
Months later, he was saying
Or if I'm like severely sick in the hospital,
Yeah.
oh, I'd be so mad.
Yeah.
I
feel like essentially that's what it is, that they're injecting you with the coronavirus. Right?
Yeah, right?
Because I mean, when people get the flu shot, they get sick.
Yeah, they do.
It was a total disaster.
Yeah.
Had that had this kind of
I'm one of the people where it's like, I'll wait, I'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's like I'll let
Yeah.
100 million people get it.
You never buy a new console, the first generation of a new console, right? You gotta wait till the second generation comes out when they fix the kinks.
Chief of Staff.
Same way I look at my vaccines.
It was catastrophic. It was horrible. We didn't know what we were doing. Now he comes up and he tells us how to do this. Also, everything that he said about the way every single move that he said we should make, that's what we've done. We've done all of it. But he was way behind us.
Vice President Biden, your response.
My response is he is xenophobic, but not because he shut down access from China. And he did it late after 40 countries had already done that. In addition to that, what he did, he made sure that we had 44 people that were in there in China trying to get to Wuhan to determine what exactly the source was. What did the president say in January? He said, no, he said, he's being transparent. The president of China is being transparent. We owe him a debt of gratitude. We have to thank him. And then what happened was we started talking about using the Defense Act to make sure we go out and get whatever is needed out there to protect people. And
I know
again,
damn well
back to
the
this.
fucking
He had nothing.
the
He
leader,
did
or what do you say?
virtually nothing.
The
And
ma-
then
what's
he
the
gets
leader
out
of China called?
hospital, and
I think he's the
talks
president.
about,
President?
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Damn well he wasn't
It's
being
all
transparent.
gonna be over soon.
Fuck no.
Come on. There's not another serious scientist
I-
in the world thinks it's gonna be over
I don't
soon.
remember exactly what Trump said back then, but I know at a certain point he had said something along the lines of that they wouldn't tell anyone what was going on in China, especially with the virus. And that's why, you know, things got as bad. If that's an excuse, maybe it is. I don't know. But
Am I out of frame here?
no, you should be good. No, it's just the screen and the camera.
Oh, okay. 'Cause
Yeah.
I can't seem like my arm.
No, you're in it. Trust me.
Yeah. But this is the thing I thought about China. Like either they're very good at eradicating viruses because they've made a lot of viruses, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Or they had a lot of outbreaks. Not made, sorry. Wrong choice of word. Or they're lying about all the fucking cases.
Dude, I think they're lying, man. I don't believe that we're the leading amount of cases in the world.
I mean,
and then I don't get how an outside organization like the World Health Organization is supposed to go in there and find out the truth when China, is a communist country essentially still, right? Or what do they call themselves? Democratic communist or some shit like that. You're not just going to go in there and be like, oh, you're lying.
Find the truth?
Yeah.
China is the truth.
Tonight and reaching over to try to touch their out of habit where their wife or husband is gone. Learning to live with it. Come on. We're dying with it.
Come on, man.
Because he has never said, he said it's dangerous. When's the last time? Is it really dangerous still? Are we dangerous? You tell the people it's dangerous now? What should they do about the danger? And you say, I take no responsibility.
Let me talk about your two.
Excuse me, I take full responsibility. It's not my fault that he came here. It's China's fault. And you know what? It's not Joe's fault that he came here either. It's China's fault. They kept it from going into the rest of China for the most part, but they didn't keep it from coming out to the world, including Europe and ourselves.
Vice President Biden.
Fact is that when we knew it was coming, when it hit, what happened? What did the president say? He said, don't worry, it's going to go away. Be gone by Easter. Don't worry. The warm weather. Don't worry. Maybe inject bleach. He said he was kidding when he said that. A lot of people thought it was serious. A whole range of things the president said.
Presidents gotta, they can't set themselves up for failure like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like President Trump,
especially in this age of technology.
you gotta know, like, bro, you got debates coming up, sooner or later.
Yeah.
You can't say this shit.
Yeah.
Or don't say, you know what I mean? Don't say inject bleach. Don't downplay the virus when you knew well that it was very deadly. Like,
Yeah.
like, dude, in 4 years you're gonna have to debate this, and they're gonna bring it up.
This is a
So,
terrible thing. You're xenophobic. I think he called me racist even, and because I was closing it to China. Now he says I should have closed it earlier. It just, Joe. It doesn't.
I don't remember if Joe Biden himself said that, but there was a lot of people on the left calling him xenophobic and racist for making those moves.
All right, I want to talk
yeah,
about those
I remember there was a. This doesn't have to do with the virus, but I remember he shut down. I forgot for one Middle Eastern country it was. You remember that?
Okay. Let's
Trump shut down because of
strategies
it was
for dealing
an
with this.
attack,
Mr.
I
Vice
think.
President, you suggested you would support new shutdowns if
No, I don't
scientists
You
remember.
remember that? I
recommended.
don't remember.
No.
What do you say to Americans who are fearful
Remember
that
what
the
country?
cost of shutdowns, the impact on the economy, the higher rates of hunger, depression, domestic and substance abuse outweighs the risk of exposure to the virus?
What I would say is I'm going to shut down the virus, not the country. It's his ineptitude that caused the country to have to shut down in large part. Why businesses have gone under, why schools are closed, why so many people have lost their living, and why they're concerned. Those other concerns are real. That's why he should have been, instead of in a sand trap in a golf course, he should have been negotiating with Nancy Pelosi and the rest of the Democrats.
I
and
think-
Republicans.
I don't
What to
I
do
hope they
about
bring up
the
these
acts that are
fucking
passing for billions of dollars to make
these
sure people
plans
have
that have been
capacity.
getting
You
denied.
haven't ruled out
Yeah.
more shutdowns.
Well, no, I'm not shutting down the name, but there are, look, you need standards. The standard is if you have a reproduction rate in a community that's above a certain level, everybody says, slow up.
Reproduction?
More social distancing. Do not open bars and do not open gymnasiums. Do not open until you get this under control, under more control. But when you do open, give the people the capacity to be able to open and have the capacity to do it safely. For example, schools. Schools, they need a lot of money to open. They need to deal with ventilation systems. They need to deal with smaller classes, more teachers, more pods. And he's refused to support that money, or at least up to now.
Let's talk about schools. President
Well,
Trump,
I
you,
think we have to respond, if I might.
please, and then I have a follow-up.
Thank you, and I appreciate that. Look,
Do you
all
think
he
it could
does
be-
is
could have
talk
been,
about shutdowns, but forget about him. His Democrat
I'm not
governors
saying,
all
like,
over New York.
business
You look at what's
failure and
going on in
deaths
California. You look at Pennsylvania,
are a blessing,
North Carolina.
but I have no
Democrats-
other
Democrats
better
all,
words
they're shut down so
for it.
tight
But it could have been
and
like a
they're
blessing in
dying.
disguise for a
They're
lot of
dying.
people,
And he supports
just
all
in
these
terms
people.
of
All he talks about is shutdowns. No,
them
we're gonna
realizing
shut
that they
down.
need
We have to
emergency
open
fund
our
money
schools, And
You know what I mean? That they need money just in case shit like this happens.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Like businesses, like you know, like how many businesses were like staying afloat?
Yeah.
Let me
Like
follow
did
up
they?
with President Trump
I mean,
and
it's. I mean, it could have very well just been that they didn't have enough business, but businesses that were doing fine, and and then the virus hit, and then they had to shut down.
I would say yes. It's definitely a learning lesson for all of humanity, right? In whichever capacity that you take it.
Yeah. Even health, like people who weren't healthy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You could be completely healthy. You know, the odds, whatever it may be. You know, you could be healthy. You could be a healthy person and get the virus, right? The likelihood of it, it can be argued, but for businesses and stuff like that, though, a lot of people, weren't that fortunate. Like it really did close down their business. You could fucking. Who's this?
What's happening? And he wants to close down.
Hi,
He'll
how are
close
you?
down the country if
What's
one
up?
person in our massive.
Yeah,
it
it barely started.
Yeah, it just started.
Yeah.
At 6.
This man's trying to stream.
Same time. You
Fuck.
want to be able to safely open.
But yeah, there's plenty of people that weren't that fortunate.
You need to be
Hi.
What's up?
I thought you had a midterm.
have social distancing in the business. You need to have, if you have
Oh.
a restaurant, you need to have
Gotta crawl on the table, bro.
plexiglass dividers so people cannot infect one another.
James is popping in.
James is actually in the household. He just
Yeah.
had us.
And know whether a person is
He said to
school
go
stuff.
fuck yourselves.
You need to be able to trace. You need to be able to provide all the resources.
It's actually going for. I would think it's going a little well right now, right? They're not interrupting each other.
No, it's been. It's a. They're
No,
there,
it's a
yeah.
person there.
It's actually a very surprising debate.
President Trump, let me follow up with you quickly.
By the way, I will say this: if you go and look at what's happened to New York, it's a ghost town. It's a ghost town.
That's not
When
true.
you talk about plexiglass. These are restaurants that are dying. These are
Sorry,
businesses
I don't
spending
speak
money.
crackhead.
Putting up plexiglass is unbelievably expensive, and it's not the.
New York
answer.
is not
You
dying.
sit there in a cubicle, wrapped
I
around
see
with
plenty of
plastic.
footage of
These are
fucking
businesses
people's
that are
stories in
dying,
New
Joe.
York.
You
People are
can't do
walking
that to
around with
people.
masks on just fine.
Yeah. Do you remember when all the fucking pictures and videos are coming out of them burying bodies in like these fucking vacant lots of dirt?
What?
Yeah, in New York, because they said the fucking death rate was so high.
No.
All these people were dying. I swear to God, dude.
Oh shit.
And I don't look at
I don't know if that was fucking real, but
blue states.
I know we're not really listening to this at the moment.
Look at the states that
But what
have-
blows my mind is that the governor of New York is somehow like the leader in fucking like
was it,
he's the
Andrew Cuomo, right?
yeah, he's like somehow the face or how leaders should be during a pandemic.
Wear these masks.
Like I don't know where this is coming from, but this man,
He did not do a good job.
no. And for some reason, I don't know. I don't know. It blows my mind. If people looked up what he did, like how he sent people that were positive with the virus back to nursing homes.
Yeah, he didn't even shut down the subways
Yeah.
at one point. But I mean, I think it speaks for itself. Like New York City was one of the like epicenters of the United States.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, so
And then I
mean,
think we took over here in California.
Yeah, so what does that really say?
And they've been closed, and they're getting killed financially. We can't let that happen, Joe. You can't let that happen. We have to
Listen,
open
and
up.
Joe Biden.
We understand that this
Fuck,
is
Joe
man, I
Biden.
keep
to
fucking
protect our seniors.
stumbling my
We
words
have to
tonight.
protect our elderly. We have to protect especially our
Joe
seniors
Biden's
who are
argument
frontline
that
and
Trump
get these
isn't trying
tests.
to
And we
negotiate
will
with
protect-
Nancy
we have the
Pelosi.
best testing in the
Both
world.
sides are not
That's why we have so
negotiating. The first time I think it was the first one passed, the $1,200, right? The next one after that, I think it was proposed by Senate. No, I think it was proposed by Trump. Got denied by Senate Democrats. Senate Democrats proposed the next one, was denied by Senate Republicans. And then it was just a back and forth game of Trump and the Senate Republicans propose a plan, gets denied by Senate Democrats. And it's all ticky-tacky bullshit. The pro-Republicans are saying that they're adding on billions of dollars to bail out states that are poor, like California.
what it was.
And then the Democrats are saying that there's not enough money going towards the individuals. There's not enough money going towards schools and PPE. Listen, if there's $8 trillion being pumped into this, I think that's more than enough money. And that's the last plan that got shut down. And I think the new one that was supposed to be debated today is like $2 trillion.
Yeah.
And I think there was money left over from the first plan that was never used. Like billions of dollars that wasn't used.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Two things. I think it says a lot when I forgot how much the last stimulus plan was, Bill. Or how much? Do you remember how much it was? It's like in the billions, right? Or it's like 1.2 trillion.
I think it was around there.
I think it says a lot when most of that money went towards like bigger business bailout. You know what I mean? How much money are they actually making? And it looks like they kind of run the economy in a way. You know what I mean? When you have to bail these fucking businesses out for so much money. And two,
and every time you raise money, deals
the second stimulus plan fucking bill that he proposed, I just think that was a fucking also a grab to try to win votes. And like, dude, people don't need one check of $1,200. Like, their businesses are failing. People are out of jobs. People have rent to pay and they have mouths to feed. And you know what I mean? They don't have a job. Like, $1,200 isn't going to do anything.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it may help. I understand that, but that's not. That's like giving them a penny and telling them to do something with it.
Yeah.
Like, that's not what we need.
It wasn't what we needed in the moment. We needed something.
We needed like something reoccurring, like something that like will actually help, the people that lost their. I mean, there's unemployment. I understand that, but
even then, the system was too flooded at that time.
Yeah.
But at that time, that isn't what we needed. But it is definitely what people need right now. They need something because a lot of people don't have money.
Yeah, they don't have shit. I mean, they already didn't have money. Before this COVID thing happened. So
I'm gonna be fascinated with how much credit debt there's gonna be,
dude,
when things go back or the people get back to rolling into their jobs and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say people are gonna be dying and they're gonna be rolling over that debt to their relatives for fucking ever. I'll tell you that.
Iran's been involved to some degree, and now we learned that Iran is involved. They will pay a price if I'm elected. They're interfering with American sovereignty. That's what's going on right now. They're interfering with.
It just sucks, man. Like, are you telling me you cannot set up a plan besides unemployment, but something like but like even increase, because with unemployment they were paying extra because of the COVID, and I think they were paying like $600 extra, but that ended, right? That ended for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Are you telling me you can't continue that for however long, but you can pump billions and billions of dollars into the military? You know what I mean? You can't cut funding from somewhere there to help, people that are starving and, that may not have a roof over their head or anything. Like, come on, there could be some, you could do something about that.
Information that is Russian, that is not true. And then what happens? Nothing happens. And then you find out that everything.
And this question she just asked was, what would you do to end foreign election interference? Oh, God.
Because they know I know them. And they know me. I don't understand why this president is unwilling to take on Putin when he's actually paying bounties to kill American soldiers in Afghanistan, when he's engaged in activities that are trying to destabilize all of NATO. I don't know why he doesn't do it, but it's worth asking the question. Why isn't that being done? Any country that interferes with us will, in fact, pay a price because they're affecting our sovereignty.
President Trump, same question.
Man, he needs to back off the mic.
What about China?
You're going to have 2 minutes to respond. For 2 elections in a row now, there has been substantial interference from foreign adversaries. What would you do in your next term to put an end to this? 2 minutes uninterrupted.
Well, let me respond to the first part as Joe answered. Joe got $3.5 million from Russia, and it came through Putin because he was friendly with the former mayor of Moscow, and it was the mayor of Moscow's wife, and you got $3.5 million.
This was the whole thing, right? About his son?
And, someday you're going to have to explain why did you.
I'm surprised this came up. I imagine they were going to avoid anything with Hunter Biden because
John, who is
Because there's not a single shred of media that is covering Hunter Biden. Even NPR put out a statement saying that like they're not covering the story because it's a waste of time for the listeners and for a story that has no factual evidence. I'm pretty sure that's not how news works, right? You're not just saying that there's no story here.
Yeah, and even when they were saying that Russia interfered with the last election, there wasn't really no evidence for that either. You know what I mean? Was there? I thought that whole thing was a lie.
Honestly, I don't know. But I think I might be with you on that. I think they keep trying to prove, and they.
But
can't
what I'm saying
come
is
up
that
with
was all over the media. You know.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yes, I see.
But
what you're
this
saying.
isn't.
Yeah. Listen, the Hunter Biden thing bothers me tremendously because I have no doubt in my mind Hunter Biden used his family's position his father's power position, being VP at the time, to get millions of dollars from a foreign country, right? The only question is, did Joe Biden know about it? Right? That's the biggest thing. And for me, I've said it plenty of times, and I've showed it enough on this show, where corruption truly bothers me, especially when it's in the highest power of the American government. And oh, look, he's trying to talk and it's muted. And if it comes out that he did know, I don't see how the man can be voted in office. That would truly bother me down in my core.
Business in China, and in fact is talking about me taking money. I have not taken a single penny from any country whatsoever, ever. Number one. Number two, this is a president.
Any country?
I have released
What about the US?
all of my taxes. 22 years. Go look at them. 22 years of my tax return. You have not released a single solitary year of your tax return.
That's
What are you
true.
hiding? Why are you unwilling?
The issue that Trump should push is, did he know about Hunter Biden's...
Yeah.
And your hotel.
You know.
Yeah, and if he didn't, I mean, it seems like he has a pass, right?
Yeah.
China's building a new road to a new a golf course you have overseas. So what's going on here? Why don't release your tax return or stop talking about corruption?
President Trump, you're
Dang.
First of all, I called my accountants, underwrote it. I'm going to release them as soon as we can. I want to do it, and it'll show how successful, how great this company is. But much more.
Okay, I think it
important
says
than that,
something
People were saying
when
$750.
It's taken a while.
I asked
Okay.
them a week ago.
I guess Joe Biden.
Got to work some papers around, bro.
Yeah.
Got to move some numbers here and there.
You gotta eliminate some zeros.
Because
Biden, I mean, he's like, all right, well, fucking, you're on my tax
Yeah,
return.
20 years.
Yeah.
It's an estimate.
The first thing I thought, though, is like, why'd he stop? What was it, like 21 years?
22.
Yeah, I was like, why'd he stop at 22? You know?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just like the piece of shit in me. I'm like, I just get all suspicious.
I mean,
I'm like, why 22, huh?
I think it's a valid question.
Millions of dollars in taxes. Number one. Number two, I don't make money from China. You do. I don't make money from Ukraine. You do. I don't make money from Russia. You made $3.5 million, you know, and your son gave you. They even have a statement that
Talked about his
we
son.
have to give 10% to the big man. You're the big man, I think. I don't know. Maybe you're not, but you're the big man, I think.
Or
Your
Obama.
son said we have to give 10% to the big man. Joe, what's that all about? It's terrible.
All right, gentlemen, I want to ask you both some questions
I have
about
to
all of this,
respond to
but I'm going to let you both respond very quickly.
She's
You
trying to
said
save you, dude. Don't respond to it.
Just move on.
When you can release them, do you
As
have
soon
a
as the audit is
deadline for
finished,
when you're going to release
I
them to
get
American
treated
people?
worse
How
than
long
the
is an
people
audit?
got treated. Because
you
I have a
don't
lot
have
of
time.
people in there, deep down in the IRS, they treat me horribly. We made a deal, it was all settled. until
They
I
treat me
decided
horribly.
on
Everyone
this
treats you
matter.
horribly if you don't
I
like
get
them.
treated very badly by the IRS, very unfairly.
Why? Because they
But
take,
we had a
you
deal
know,
all done.
millions
As
of
soon as
dollars
we're
from you, like they
completed
should.
with the deal, I want to release it, but I paid millions and millions.
I typed in how long is an audit, and it says it depends, but most audits wrap up well within a
I
year.
want to ask you both
Oh,
about
jeez.
questions
And I think this man's been saying he's under audit since like 2016. So
to give you both a chance to
I
talk
think his
about
tax
this
returns
more
have been
broadly.
under.
Respond very quickly, and then I'll get to my question.
Why did he's been saying this for 4 years? Show us. Just show us. Stop playing around. You've been saying for 4 years you're going to release your taxes. Nobody knows it, Mr. President. What they do know is you're not paying your taxes, or you're paying taxes that are so low. When last time he said what he paid, he said, I only pay that little because I'm smart. I know how to Come on, folks.
So
Come on, man. Yeah, but like at that point, is it
I was put through a
is
phony
it
witch
the
hunt
system's fault,
for
or
3
is it
years.
just
It started
is it
before
you know what I mean that they can like there's loopholes, you know
The
what I mean?
fact that
no president should
he
ever have
said
to go
that,
through what I went through. Let me
you know,
say
shows they know that they
Yeah.
can get away with this. They know these billionaires
and
can do
FBI
that.
Yeah.
agents all over the place
But we haven't closed
spent
these
$48
loopholes.
million.
Yeah.
They went through
And I
everything
think
I had,
Biden's
including
new
my
tax plan or whatever it is when he gets
They found
elected, it
absolutely
will
no
work
collusion
on
and
some of
nothing wrong.
those loopholes.
48 million.
But
I guarantee you, if I spent $1 million on
you know, those people have a lot more money than the people that are making the laws, right? They're gonna pay. They're gonna pay to make sure that loopholes are found. I always think there's gonna be loopholes.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I
mean, yeah. But like it's just crazy
All
how
right, gentlemen, let me just ask some questions about all
These
of this
rich-
broadly. Vice President Biden, there
the
have
rich
been
people of
questions
the
about
United
work
States
your
will
son has done in
go
China
through
and for a Ukrainian
anything,
energy company when you were
and they
vice
will pay
president. In
whatever
retrospect, was anything
not
about those
pay their
relationships
taxes.
Yeah.
inappropriate or unethical?
Nothing was unethical. Here's what the deal.
it's just like fuck, man. It's affecting me on a lower scale more than it's affecting you.
We had this
Like,
whole
oh my
question
God, you
about
didn't
whether or
make.
not because he was on
You
the
know, you
board,
made $1 billion last year,
there
but
was
oh my God,
a
they took
company
half of that. Oh my
that
God, what are you
somehow
gonna do with
I
$500 million?
that every
Yeah.
Jesus
single
Christ.
solitary person when he was going through his impeachment, testifying under oath who worked for him, said, I did my job impeccably. I carried out U.S. policy. Not one single solitary thing was out of line. Not a single thing, number one. Number two, the guy who got in trouble in Ukraine was this guy trying to bribe the Ukrainian government to say something negative about me, which they would not do and did not do because it never, ever, ever happened. My son has
Wait,
not
what?
made money
Oh,
in terms of this thing about, what are you talking about? China. I have not had, the only guy made money from China is this guy. He's the only one. Nobody else has made money from China.
President Trump.
Nobody else in the world?
Let me ask my question to you.
But
and
could I
then
just
we'll-
one thing?
Very
His
quickly.
son didn't have a job for a long time. Was sadly no longer in the military service. I won't get into that. And he didn't have a job. As soon as he became vice president, Burisma, not the best reputation in the world. I hear they paid him $183,000 a month. Listen to this. $183,000
Damn, a month?
And they gave him a $3 million upfront payment.
All right.
And he had no energy.
I'm going to let the vice president
That's
respond to that quickly, and then I need to get to a
dishonest.
question to you. Very
No
quickly,
basis for
Vice
that. Everybody investigated that. No one said anything he did was wrong in Ukraine.
Who's
Okay,
investigated
President
it?
Trump, this is for you.
Yeah.
Since you took
There's
office,
literally
like
no
the F-
reports on
invested
this.
from your business.
Yeah, the FBI or what?
Promoted your properties abroad. A report this week, which was referenced, does indicate that your company has a bank account in China. So how can voters know that you don't have any foreign conflicts of interest?
I have many bank accounts, and they're all listed, and they're all over the place. I mean, I was a businessman doing business. The bank account you're referring to, which is everybody knows about it, it's listed. The bank account was in 2013. That's what it was. It was opened it was closed in 2015, I believe. And then I decided, because I was thinking about doing a deal in China like millions of other people. I was thinking about it, and I decided I'm not going to do it. Didn't like it. I decided not to do it. Had an account open, and I closed it.
Okay.
Excuse me. And unlike him, where he's vice president and he does business, I then decided to run for president after that. That was before. So I closed it before I even ran for president, let alone became president. Big difference. He is the vice president of the United States, and his son, his brother, and his other brother are getting rich. They're like a vacuum cleaner. They're sucking up money every
President Trump,
place he
thank you.
goes.
We do need to move on.
They're like a
I do wanna
vacuum
ask
cleaner.
you, Vice President Biden, about China. Let's talk
What
about
bothers me
China.
too is a lot of people aren't talking about the
Have,
Hunter
of
Biden
course,
thing.
President Trump
Like
said
Nancy
he should
Pelosi,
pay
she was
for
holding
not being fully transparent
a press
in
talk
regards
today
to the coronavirus. If you were president,
about
would
the
you make
coronavirus,
China
and one
pay?
of
And
the
please be specific.
the news people there asked her about the whole Hunter Biden thing, and she fucking flipped, dude. She's like, "No, I'm not answering these questions. We're talking about coronavirus." Right? It's just like, whoa, where is this coming from?
Sure that in order to do business in China, you have to give all your intellectual
The New York Times paper that we talked about last time, how that was blocked on like Twitter and Facebook.
Yeah. That is,
It's fucking eyebrow raising. It's like, why?
Yeah. You know, I like,
we're setting up air identification zones in the South China Sea.
like internet censorship is like a big no-no, right? Like throughout everyone, like that shouldn't happen. But like it is, you know what I mean? Like people don't want that. Like, oh, this could be, you know, this could be us in the future. Internet censorship, it already is, man. Like that's already us. Things are getting censored that we probably don't even know.
The thing is, and it's not even really known because of, like, there is shadow banning.
Yeah, that too.
In the terms and agreements that you sign up on Twitter, there is literally a sentence there that says, it doesn't say shadow ban, but it basically says they have the right to block your content from posting or being seen from someone else.
All right, let's talk about North Korea.
Excuse me, no, I have to respond to that.
Okay. Very quickly, then we're going to move on to North
With
Korea.
$1.5 billion from China.
No, just cut the mic.
This year.
Number one.
Flip the switch.
Number two, there's a very strong email talking about your family wanting to make $10 million a year for introductions.
President Trump, on China policy, though, what specifically are you going to do? What specifically are you going to do to make China pay? You've said you're going to make them pay.
China is paying. They're paying billions and billions of dollars. I just gave $28 billion.
New sanctions?
I just gave $28 billion to our farmers.
Taxpayers'
China,
money.
Ooh.
Taxpayers' money. Didn't come
No,
from
yeah,
China.
you know who the taxpayer is? It's called China. China
Not
paid
true.
$28 billion, and you know what they did to pay it, Joe? They devalued their currency, and they also paid out. And you know who got the money? Our farmers, our great farmers, because they were targeted. You never charged them anything. Also, I charged them 25%.
Our great
on
farmers.
steel, because they were killing our steel industry. We were not going to have a steel industry.
Okay.
And now we have a steel industry.
You're sending all the farmers back to Mexico, dude.
Response is low. The reason why
Deported
is
all. No, I'm kidding.
bringing up all this malarkey. There's a reason.
Malarkey.
He doesn't want to talk about the substantive issues. It's not about his family and my family. It's about your family. And your family.
Oh, he's talking to American people right now.
He's looking right at us, dude.
If you're a middle-class family, you're getting hurt badly right now. You're sitting at the kitchen table this morning deciding, well, we can't get new tires, they're bald because we have to wait another month or so. Or are we going to be able to pay the mortgage? Or who's going to tell her she can't go back to
Mortgage?
The fuck?
college?
Middle-class
They're
families have
decisions
houses?
you're making. The
What the hell?
Not here in California.
Not here.
They're in trouble.
My family's been asking these questions for like 20 years. What the fuck, man?
I want to talk about North Korea.
Excuse me,
I
just
do
for
want
1
to turn
second,
to
please.
10 seconds, Mr. President. 10
One.
seconds.
Political
Two.
statement. Let's get off
3.
this China thing, and then he looks
Four.
the family around
5.
the table, everything. Just a
6.
typical politician. When I
7.
Let's talk about North
8.
Korea now.
Oh, she didn't give him 10 seconds. What the fuck?
Let's talk
Let's get off the subject of China. Let's talk around sitting around the table.
All right.
Come on, Joe, you can do better.
We're going to talk about President Trump. You've met with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un 3 times. You've talked about your beautiful letters with him. You've touted the fact that there hasn't been a war
Forgot about
or
that.
a long-range missile test. And yet North Korea recently rolled out its biggest ever intercontinental ballistic
Wait,
missile.
what the
They
hell?
did.
Continues to
They
develop
did.
its
Yeah.
nuclear arsenal.
Do
see
I
that
believe
as
that it
a
works?
threat of the
No.
relationship you forged just
North
over
Korea is full of shit, people. They
It's like
are.
it's like those grocery stores. Show it. Doesn't really. It has nothing on the inside.
Isn't it said too that they have like the second largest army in the world or some shit like that?
Yeah, maybe something like that. Yeah. It's up there.
Listen, even if that's true, the reason why their guns work is because fucking Russia and China give it to them, okay? Other than that, they can't, like, let's be honest, people. Fucking China has to send care packages like every other month to keep them alive over there.
And there's no war. And you know, about 2 months
The whole
ago,
fucking largest ballistic missile, does it work?
Oh, there's going to be trouble. I said, no, they're not, because he's not going to do that. And I was right. Look, instead of being in a war where millions of people, Seoul, you know, is 25 miles away, millions and millions, 32 million people in Seoul, millions of people would be dead right now.
President
We
Trump,
don't have
that's
a war,
30
and I have a
seconds.
good
Thank you.
relationship.
Vice President Biden, to you. North Korea conducted 4 nuclear tests under the Obama administration. Why do you think you would be able to rein in this persistent threat?
Because I make it clear, which we were making clear to China, they had to be part of the deal. Because here's the I made it clear as a spokesperson of the administration when I went to China, that they said, why are you moving your missile defense up so close? Why are you moving more forces here? Why are you continuing to do military maneuvers with South Korea? I said, because North Korea is a problem, and we're going to continue to do it so we can control them. We're going to make sure we can control them and make sure they cannot hurt us. And so if you want to do something about it, step up and help. If not, it's going to continue. What has he done? He's legitimized North Korea. He's talked about his good buddy, who's a thug, and he talks about how we're better off. And they have much more capable missiles, able to reach U.S. territory much more easily than ever did before.
Let me follow up with you, Vice President Biden. You've said you wouldn't meet with Kim Jong-un without preconditions.
Even
Are
if
there
they did,
any
you know what I mean?
conditions
They'd
under which
fucking
you
send him
would
to
meet with
fucking
him?
On the condition that
Send
he
him
would
to hell.
agree that he would be drawing down his nuclear capacity to get that the Korean Peninsula should be nuclear-free zone.
I'm sorry, what did you
All
say?
right, let's move on.
I said even if
American
Korea did
families.
fucking bomb us,
They
it
tried.
wouldn't be good for them
Tried to
anyway.
meet with him.
No.
He wouldn't do it. He didn't like Obama. He didn't like him.
I say this for all the presidents before.
To respond to that.
None of them did shit about North Korea.
You know what? North Korea.
Right?
We're not in a war.
We didn't know anything about them. It was always like they're just the big bad guy over there testing their missiles and, you know,
Questions to get to.
like hate America or just hate everybody.
Yeah.
Honestly, when I saw Trump walk across the DMZ and shake Kim Jong-un's hand, that's his name, right? I get lost in the
Jong-un,
names. Shake his hand and then have him walk over to the South Korean side, something both sides have never done before. I honestly thought that this was like a light of hope. Like finally, like something might change here. You know, there's some sense of respect to where they're willing to come to the table and speak to the other side. Because before it wasn't like that, right? I think there's a documentary out there where there's like a meeting room between the two where both
Yeah.
sides can come together and talk. Never used, right? God, is that your fucking cat outside the
Yeah.
door, dude? Just meowing away?
I mean, there's a demilitarized zone for a reason, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Healthcare, as you both know. Today there was a key vote on a new Supreme Court Justice, Amy Coney Barrett, and healthcare is at the center of her confirmation fight. Over 20 million Americans get their health insurance through the Affordable
Yeah, the
Care
setup
Act.
is
It's
not
headed to the
suited
Supreme
to
Court,
walk in and
and
out
her
right now.
administration, Mr. President, is advocating for the court to
Andy's having to
overturn
duck through
it. If the
tables and
Supreme Court
dodge
does
the camera.
overturn that law, those 20 million Americans could lose their health insurance almost overnight. So
He hasn't
what
fed
would
his
you
cat,
do
so it's
if
just
those
fucking
people
crying
get
out
health
there.
insurance taken away? You have 2 minutes uninterrupted.
First of all, I've already done something that nobody thought was possible. Through the legislature, I terminated the individual mandate. That is the worst part of Obamacare, as we call it.
Yeah,
The individual
that
mandate
was the worst part of Obamacare, but part of his promise was to get rid of Obamacare. And they have not done that. He has not done that. And they do not have a plan for when they do that, what's going to replace it. Like,
Run it as well as you can.
you
on
can't.
the other route.
Too many
Leave
people
everybody
depend on
running
it at this point.
They ran it. Premiums are down. Everything's down. Here's the problem. No matter how well you run it, it's no good. What we'd like to do is terminate it. We have the individual mandate done. I don't know that it's going to work. If we don't win, we will have to.
I hate what he
run it, and
do-
we'll have
does
Obamacare,
with his
but it'll be
hands,
better
dude,
run.
just to
But
fucking-
it no longer is Obamacare because without the individual mandate, it's much different. Pre-existing
Hi,
conditions
pussycat.
will always stay. What I would like to do is a much
Don't worry, dude.
Much better.
Much better
Always
healthcare.
protect people with pre-existing.
You're already fat enough.
So I'd like
You
to
need a diet.
terminate Obamacare, come up with a brand new, beautiful health care. The Democrats will do it because
Beautiful.
there's
Trump care?
tremendous pressure on them. We might even have the House by that time, and I think we're going to win the House. Okay, you'll see, but I think we're going to win the House. But come up with a better health care, always protecting people.
That's the other thing
with
too, people.
pre-existing conditions.
The
So
presidential
one thing very
debate
important,
is a big
we have
one.
180
Yeah.
million people
But it
out
doesn't
there
mean
that
shit
have great
if
private
the
health care.
party
Far
that
more
wins
than
the
we talk about with Obamacare. Joe Biden is gonna
presidential
terminate all of those
debate
policies.
or
These are people that love their healthcare.
presidential nomination gets in if you don't own the House or if you don't own the Senate. If you are missing one of the two, it's pointless.
Yeah.
it becomes
families
very hard to pass
under
anything.
what he wants to do, which will basically be socialized medicine. He won't even have a choice. They want to terminate 180 million plans. We have done an incredible job on health care,
Hello,
and
cat.
we're going to do even better.
Okay.
Who are you
Vice
voting for, huh?
President
Damn, they
Biden
muted him on the
says your
spot.
healthcare plan calls for
Who are you voting
building
for?
on Obamacare. So my question is, what is your plan if the law is ruled unconstitutional by the Supreme Court? You have 2 minutes uninterrupted.
What I'm going to do is pass Obamacare with a public option, become Biden care. Public option.
Biden care.
Oh, jeez.
That if you in fact do not have the wherewithal to be, if you qualify for Medicaid and you do not have the wherewithal, then
Real
you
original, Joe Biden.
automatically enroll, providing competition.
Get
for
your
insurance
ass out of my
companies.
face,
That's
cat.
what's going to happen. Secondly, we're going to make sure we reduce the premiums and reduce drug prices by making sure that there's competition that doesn't exist now by allowing the Medicare to negotiate drug prices with the insurance companies. Thirdly, the idea that I want to eliminate private insurance, the reason why I had such a fight with 20 candidates for the nomination was I support private insurance. That's why I didn't. Not one single person with private insurance would lose their insurance under my plan, nor did they under Obamacare. They did not lose their insurance unless they chose they wanted to go to something else. Lastly, we're going to make sure we're in a situation that we actually protect pre-existing. There's no way he can protect pre-existing conditions. None. Zero. You can't do it in the ether. He's been talking about this
He
for a
said in
long
the ether?
time.
In the
There is
ether,
no-
bro.
He's never come up with a plan. I guess we're going to get the
Interesting
pre-existing
choice of
condition
word.
plan the same time we get the infrastructure plan that we've been waiting since 17, 18, 19, and 20. The fact, I still have a few more minutes. I know you're getting anxious. The fact is that he's already cost the American people, because of his terrible handling of the COVID virus and the economic spillover, 10 million people have lost their private insurance. And he wants to take away 22 million more people who have it under Obamacare, and over 110 million people with pre-existing conditions. And all the people from COVID are going to have pre-existing conditions. What are they going to do?
I have a follow-up for you, Vice President Biden. It relates to
Wait, all the
something
people with
that
COVID are
President
gonna
Trump
have
said.
pre-exist-
He's accusing you of wanting socialized medicine. What do you say to
What does he mean
people
by that?
who have concerns that your health care plan, which includes a government insurance option, takes the country one step closer to a health care system run entirely by the government? What's
I
your
say
response
it's
to that?
ridiculous. It's like saying that, we're, the idea that the fact that there's a public option that people can choose, that makes it a socialist plan. Look, the difference between
I truly,
healthcare is
in my
not
heart of
particularly
hearts,
it's a right.
believe that Joe
Everyone
Biden
should have
is
the
not
right
trying to
to have
push
affordable
some
healthcare.
socialist
And I am very
Medicaid
proud
or
of my
Medicare
Nah,
or whatever it may
endorsed
be.
by all the
He has
presidents of
argued
the
with
unions, as well
Bernie
as
about
well as
a
whole range
socialist
of other
health care
people who, in
plan
fact, are concerned in the medical field.
during the
This is
debates.
something that's going to save people's
Because he knows that's not the answer. You can have something where there's a health care that is suited for everyone. Doesn't mean that the health care is going to be good. There's a reason why the people up in Canada come down to the U.S. when it comes to surgeries and the medication or whatever it may be. It takes a long time to see your doctor. It takes a long time to get your surgery done. Just because it's healthcare for all doesn't mean that problems are going to be solved right away.
Yeah.
It was just a little while ago, right? Less than 4 years ago. He didn't do anything. He didn't do it. He wants socialized medicine, and it's not that he wants it. His vice president, I mean, she is more liberal than Bernie Sanders and wants
I
to do
hate,
more. Bernie
I
Sanders wants
fucking
it. The
hate
Democrats
that
want
they
it.
have
We're going to
taken
socialized medicine, just
the
like he wanted
word
with
liberal
fracking.
and
We're not gonna
skewed it
fracking.
into
We're
this
gonna stop
fucking
fracking. We're
meaning
gonna
that
stop
it is
fracking. Then
now.
he goes to Pennsylvania after he gets a nomination where he got very lucky to get it.
You just
And he
stay,
goes to
stop.
Pennsylvania and he says, "Oh, we're going to have fracking." And you never ask that question. And by the way, so far, I respect very much the way you're handling this, I have to say.
By the way-
But somebody should ask the question.
You can ask-
He goes for a year. There will be
We
no
have
fracking. There
we
will
do
be
have
no
a number of
petroleum.
we have a number of topics
No,
we're
no,
going
but
to get
that's a
to.
big- that's a big question.
We're going to get to we're going to get to
It's the
a number
same
of
thing with
topics.
socialized
Oh, cut the
medicine.
mics.
President, your response.
My response is people deserve to have affordable health care, period. Period, period, period. And the Biden care proposal will, in fact, provide for that affordable health care, lower premiums. What we're going to do is going to cost some money. It's going to cost over $750 billion over 10 years to do it. And they're going to have lower premiums. You can buy into the better plans, the cheaper plans, lower your premiums, deal with unexpected billing, and have your drug prices drop significantly. He keeps talking about it. He hasn't
Such a
done
good cat.
thing for anybody on health care. Not a thing.
Tristan, when
Very
he
quickly,
says,
then I want to talk
when
about
he
what's
says
happening on
public
Capitol
option,
Hill.
he's talking about socialized medicine. And when he and
Why is
and
why is
healthcare, when he talks
medicine like
about a
fucking
public
political,
option,
man?
he's talking about
What
destroying
do you mean?
Medicare.
I mean, that might be that might mean something else. Socialized
Because
medicine.
because Trump's argument is that it's tied into people's taxes. The only way it's going to get paid is if you increase people's taxes.
Okay, let's let Vice President Biden respond.
That's where people.
Confused guy. He thinks he's running against
That's
somebody
where you
else.
win the votes right
Running
there.
against
Is if you sway
Joe
people's
Biden.
pocketbooks.
I beat
Yeah.
all those other people because I disagreed with them. Joe Biden he's running against. And the idea that we're in a situation that they're going to destroy Medicare, this is the guy that the actuary at Medicare said, if in fact, at Social Security, if in fact he continues to withhold his plan to withhold the tax on Social Security will be bankrupt by 2023 with no way to make up for it. This is the guy who's
Did you
trying
say
to
Social
cut
Security?
Medicare. So no, I mean the idea that
Is this a fucking threat? I don't expect to get Social Security
know, like
by the
it.
time I'm 60.
Yeah.
He tried to get
Like,
For all you
bro.
old people, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
Bro, I'm 24. I don't care.
But
look at the records.
has anyone ever agreed that Social Security was, the greatest plan or idea? Well, maybe it was a great idea, but has it worked out?
If he's elected,
It's not going to work out for me and you.
Okay,
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. It benefits a few generations, and that's it.
Stock market is booming. It's his only measure of what's
Yeah, but it's
happening.
not even that
Where I
much.
come from in Scranton and
No.
Cleveland, the
You know what I
people
mean?
don't live
It's
off
like
the stock market.
lower than minimum
Just
wage,
in-
right? Or
just
does it have
in
to be
the
minimum
last
wage
3
payout?
3 years
I don't
during this
fucking know.
crisis,
You know, but I feel like-
billionaires in this country made, according to the Wall
I
Street,
don't know.
$700
I feel like I heard a lot of old people though,
more
like
dollars.
you know, who are
$700
living
billion
off
more
Social
because
Security.
that's his only measure.
You know, who are waiting for the
What
check.
happens to the ordinary
Ah,
Come across
okay.
a lot of
What
old
happens
people
to
like
them?
that.
let's talk about what's happening on Capitol Hill. We're going to
Kristen,
move on, gentlemen.
401ks are through the roof.
We're gonna
People's
move on.
stock are through the roof.
All right.
And he doesn't come from Scranton. That's like he lived there for a short period
We're
of
gonna-
time before
okay,
he even knew
we're
it.
gonna move on
and
to
he
the
left.
next
And
question.
the people of Pennsylvania
Let me
will
move
show
on
you
to my
that.
next question,
They
gentlemen.
understand.
As of tonight, more than
Keeps
12
going back to
million
the stock
people are
market.
out of work, and as of tonight, 8 million more Americans have fallen into poverty, and more families are going hungry every day. Those hit hardest are
What happened?
women and
He's talking about how
people of
great the
color.
economy is. And
It's
she's
in
like, well, 12
Washington
million people are
fighting
living in
over a relief
poverty
bill.
or something like
Mr.
that.
President, why
8 million
hasn't
people are
been
going
able to
hungry.
get them the help they need? 30 seconds here.
Well, the economy's the greatest it's ever
Pelosi doesn't
been.
want to approve it. I do.
But you're the
It
president.
continues to be the greatest it's ever been. I don't think it'll ever
The reasons I think we're going to take over the House
Yeah.
because of her.
be
Nancy Pelosi
anything
doesn't want to
less.
approve anything
Um,
because she'd love to have some victories.
But yeah,
On a date called November 3rd, Nancy Pelosi does not want to approve it. We are ready, willing, and able to do something. Don't forget,
I don't think they can try to paint this narrative that the relief plan is on Trump. This is between the Senate. You know, like they keep denying it left and right.
All right, Mr. Vice President,
No, the Republican leader in the United States Senate said he can't pass it. He will not be able to pass it. He does not have Republican votes. Why isn't he talking to his Republican friends?
let me follow up with you, Vice President.
we made a
Biden,
deal, the
because
Republicans-
The same thing can be asked about why are you not talking to Nancy Pelosi, dude?
Yeah.
You're all a bunch of fucking hypocrites.
Get a deal for the American people.
Well, I have, and they have pushed it. Look, they passed this act all the way back.
Did you
to
see
the
the
summer.
interview
This is
with
like
Nancy
it's not
Pelosi and
new.
Chris Wolf?
It's been out there.
No, I heard about it though.
Oh, dude, it's
And look at
it's
the
hard to
company.
watch, and
When I was in
it
charge of the
truly
Recovery Act,
it
they
truly
$100
bothers
Bro,
me.
she's old as fuck.
I was able to
Nancy
get
Pelosi. She looks
Yeah.
old as fuck.
Yeah.
She looks fucking stressed
They
out.
have to balance their budget. The states have to balance their budget, so then have to fire firefighters, teachers, first responders, law enforcement officers, so they can keep their cities and counties running. He will not support that. They have not done a thing for
That's a
them.
big
And
statement.
Mitch McConnell said, "Let them go bankrupt. Let them go bankrupt." Come on, what's the matter with
bill
these
that was
guys?
passed in the House.
What's
was a
the matter with
bailout
these guys?
Of badly run, high crime, Democrat, all run by Democrats, cities and states. It was a way of getting a lot of money, billions and billions of dollars to these states. It was also a way of getting a lot of money from our people's pockets to people that come into our country illegally. we were going to take care of everything for them. And what that does, and I'd love to do that, I'd love to help them, but what that does, everybody all over the world will start pouring into our country. We can't do it. This was a way of taking care of them. This was a way of spending on things that had nothing to do with COVID, as per your question. But it was really a big bailout for badly run Democrat cities and states.
All right, I
By the way,
want to.
if I get elected, I'm running as a proud Democrat, but I'm going to be an American president. I don't see red states and blue states. What I see is American, United States. And folks, every single state out there finds themselves in trouble. They're going to start laying off, whether they're red or blue.
Do you think they make them wear red and blue ties?
First responders.
I didn't notice that.
I just noticed
I'm
it
sure.
too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And the founders were smart.
In case you didn't know what side they're on.
Deficit spend to compensate for the United States of America.
I want to talk about the minimum wage.
I wonder if they each have a suit for like every
We are
day.
talking a lot about struggling
Or if they
small
just wear the same
businesses
suit every day.
and business owners these days. Do you think this is
a
the
great
right
question.
time to ask them to raise the minimum wage? You, of course, support a $15.
What's going on with that? Now, let's change the president's fashion. I'm tired of these suits. We'll see.
Instead of a navy blue suit, Trump, I expect a red suit with a
I wanna see you in
navy
a
blue
I
tie.
want to see you in a shirt and shorts and some sandals, okay?
Oh God!
Show who you
Imagine
really
he
are.
has ugly fucking toes.
Dude,
I bet that dude's lactating underneath there.
Ugh.
He got some
He's
big old
dripping.
titties.
That's how fucking Baron Trump's so fucking tall. Sucking on this guy's tits, dude. Trump titty milk.
Oh, shit.
As the schools need the help, but these guys will not help them. It's not giving them any of the money.
We are going to move on to immigration, but I want to get your
Hey,
reaction.
stop rubbing on the freaking wires, huh?
Raising the minimum wage, that's not helping.
It's on yours.
I think it should be a state option.
I'm sorry, raising the minimum wage.
Is different than New York.
I don't see how it
New York
helps.
is different from
Have you noticed a
Vermont.
difference?
Every state is
Because I just
I
noticed that
don't know.
milk keeps fucking increasing in price and bread keeps becoming more expensive.
How are you helping your small businesses?
Yeah,
when
I mean, for a
you're
job
what's gonna
that I
happen
have
and what's
that's
been proven
over
to
the minimum
happen
wage,
is when you do that, these small
you know, like my
businesses
job
fire
isn't going to
many of the
increase
employees.
in my pay, right? So if the minimum wage becomes what my pay is, I'm just going to be paid minimum wage.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, in that aspect, it might hurt me. So,
Yeah.
obviously, you know,
in a second administration, but
inflation and all
not
that.
to a level that's going to put all these businesses out of business. It should be a state option. Look, I've lived in different places. I know different places. They're all different. Some places, $15 is not so bad. In other places, other states, $15 would
Okay,
be
President
ruined.
Trump, thank you.
$15 ain't shit in California.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
One job, be below poverty. People are making.
what I don't understand is when they talk about the minimum wage, are they talking countrywide?
I see.
Because I know
don't
some
know.
states that are making like fucking $8, $9 an
Yeah,
hour still.
yeah, that's the thing. I think when they speak minimum wage, it's just an argument of should it be increased or not, and then it's down to the state to figure out
Yeah.
whether it should be increased or not. So I don't know, because like I said, what is minimum wage here? 15?
Maybe. I think it might be under that.
Less than that?
Maybe 14?
Let me see.
I think they were talking about 15 being the minimum wage.
So how will these families ever be reunited?
Children are brought here by coyotes and lots of bad people, cartels.
Oh,
and they're
it's
brought
$12.
here, and they used to use
Yeah, that's the
it
thing,
in their
dude.
country. We now have
Bringing
as
kids
small
over?
borders we
I think
have
it's like,
Oh, coyotes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
brand new
well, you thought like the
Oh,
animal?
like, wait, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
Carrying children over on a fucking coyote? Just riding its back?
Just fucking bringing in some Mexican children.
I
I think it's like,
newspaper. There was a picture of these horrible
I'm gonna say it.
cages, and they said
Napoleon
the
told me it's like
prisoners
$3,500 a
and
person.
then it was determined they were
Dude,
built
no, they get
in
paid
2014.
well, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Do you have a plan to
You'd be
reunite
surprised.
kids
Yes, we're
with their
working on
families?
it.
You know, but they do something wrong, they're
Very
fucking
hard. But a
get
lot
shot in
of
the
these kids
head.
come out without parents. They're called
You know?
through cartels
Paying
and
with their
through
life.
coyotes and through
True,
gangs.
true.
Vice President Biden, let me bring you into this conversation. Quick response and then another question to you.
These 500 plus kids came with parents. They separated them at the border to make it a disincentive to come to begin with.
It's about time they're talking about this.
Real tough. We're really strong. And guess what? They cannot. It's not coyotes didn't bring them over. Their parents were with them. They got separated from their parents, and it makes us a laughing stock and violates every notion of who we are as a nation.
Let me ask you a follow-up
Kristen,
question.
they did it. We changed the policy.
Your response
they
to
did
that?
It.
Fuck.
We did not.
Obama deported a lot of.
Who built the cages, Joe?
Let's talk about what
Who
we're
built the
talking
cages,
about. Let's
Joe?
talk about what we're talking about.
He's got a point.
What happened? Parents were ripped, their kids were ripped from their arms and separated. And now they
I don't know if.
But this was going on well into the Obama administration.
Yeah, I don't know if Trump has beaten that number, but before he became elected, Obama
Let
leaded
me ask you
in
Yeah.
presidents ever to deport Mexicans or deport immigrants, may I say.
But some of them haven't been reunited
But
with
just
their
ask
families.
one question. Who built the cages? I'd love you to
The question
answer
was,
that.
how will
Who
you
built the
reunite?
cages?
Let me
How will
ask
you
about your
reunite
immigration
children
policy, Mr.
separated
Vice
from
President.
families
The
at
Obama
border?
administration
And the
did
argument
not
turned
deliver
into who
immigration
built the
reform, which had
cages
been a
and
key
who did
promise
what.
during the administration. It also presided over record deportations as well as family
How are you
detentions
gonna
at the
reunite
border
them? You
before
can't.
changing course. So why
Good
should
luck.
voters trust
How are you
with
gonna get
immigration
across the
over
border
time?
and find these
Because we made a
parents?
mistake.
Good fucking
It
luck.
took too long to get it right. Took too long to get it right. I'll be president of the United States, not vice president of the United States. And the fact is, I've made it very clear. Within 100 days, I'm going to send to the United States Congress a pathway to citizenship for over 11 million undocumented people. And all of those
That's pretty big.
so-called
Yeah.
dreamers, those DACA kids, they're going to be
The
immediately
pathway
certified
to
to be able to
citizenship
stay in this
should
country.
be easier. It
Put on
shouldn't
the
take
facts.
No, yeah, it
fucking
shouldn't take
years.
The idea that they are being sent home by this guy and they want to do that is they're going to a country they've never seen before. I can imagine you're 5 years old, your parents are taking you across the
And this new question is, why should voters trust you with an immigration overhaul?
And you say, oh no, Mom, leave me here. I'm not going to go with you. They've been here. Many of them are model citizens. Over 20,000 of them are
God,
first
I gotta pee.
responders out there taking care of people during this crisis. We owe them. We owe them.
President
Kristen,
Trump,
he
your
had
reaction.
8 years to do
Who's
what
we?
he said he was going to do. And
I don't know.
changed
Oh,
it
anyone
without
shit.
having a specific. We got rid of catch and release. We got rid of a lot of horrible things that they put in and that they lived with. But he had 8 years he was vice president. He did nothing except build cages to keep children in.
Vice President Biden,
Wrong.
your response.
The catch and release, you know what he's talking about there? If in fact you had a family came across and they were
I gotta
arrested,
pee, dude.
No,
they
go
in
for it.
fact were given a date to show up for their hearing. They were released. And guess what? They showed up for a hearing. And this is the first president in the history of the United States of America that anybody seeking asylum has to do it in another country. That's never happened before in America. That's never happened before in America. You come to the United States and you make your case that I seek asylum based on the following premise: why I deserve it under American law. They're sitting in squalor on the other side of the river.
President Trump, your response.
So
30
important.
seconds, and then we'll move
It
on.
just shows that he has no understanding of immigration of the laws. Catch and release is a disaster. A murderer would come in, a rapist would come in, a very bad person would come in. We would take their name. We have to release them into our country. And then you say they come back. Less than 1% of the people come back. We have to send ICE out and Border Patrol out to find them. We would say, come back in 2 years, 3 years. We're going to give you a court case. You need Perry Mason. We're going to give you a court case. When you say they come back, they don't come back, Joe.
Yeah.
They never come back. Only the really
I think the biggest thing here is that
I hate to
they are
say
still
this,
putting
but
people
those
in
with the lowest
cages,
IQ, they
and
might
they are
come back.
still
Okay, President,
separating
let's give Vice
children
President Biden a chance to
from their
respond, and then we're
parents.
gonna move on
I mean,
to the
I
next
don't know the
section.
law, Joe.
Vice President
I don't know how
Biden, your
easy or
response.
hard it is to keep track of, people that don't even have any
Check it out.
papers, right? So,
All right, let's move
But
on.
still, these people are dying.
So we don't have to worry about it.
Let's move on to the next
You have
section.
525 kids not knowing where in God's name they're going to be. in
Listen,
Austin.
I just decided I'm not voting.
Let's talk about which is race in
I just
America.
decided while I was
And
up
I
there,
wanna talk about the way
fuck the
black
both
and
of these
brown
two.
Americans
They're both full of
experience
shit.
race in this
They don't
country.
care about you or
Part
me.
of that experience is
They're
something
just trying to
called
win this for their fucking party. That's all I see.
regardless of
I don't trust
class,
Trump. I don't
income,
trust Biden.
parents who feel they have no choice
I definitely don't
but to
trust the
prepare their
VPs.
children for the chance that
You know,
they could be
fuck 'em.
targeted
I'm not
including
voting.
by the police for no
I
reason
registered to
other
vote,
than
and
the
that's
color
big
of
for
their
me.
skin.
So
Mr. Vice President,
I'm gonna take
in
that
the
as a
next
win
2
for this
minutes,
year. I know. I said plenty of times
Do you
in a couple
understand
episodes
why
that I
these
was gonna
parents
vote.
fear for their children?
But like I said, man, I keep looking at that
My daughter is a
that
social
mail-in
worker,
ballot.
and,
Like, I'm not doing it.
she's
Yeah.
written
I think
a lot
that's
about
an
this.
answer in
She has
itself,
a
you know,
graduate
that
degree from the University of Pennsylvania in social work.
there's no
And,
clear distinction of who to vote for.
One of the reasons
You know,
why
and I
I
think,
ended up working
and
on the east side of
and
Wilmington
before
Village,
this
which is 90%
fucking
African-American,
debate came on,
was to
it almost
learn
seemed like
more
that's
about
been the
what was going on.
trend.
What I
Like
didn't- I
50%
never
of
had to
people
tell
vote
my daughter,
here,
Mhm.
50% of people vote
she's
here. Like the
pulled
country's
over,
split
make
either
sure
way.
she
Yeah.
puts
Man,
her
no one's
traffic
winning.
stop.
Yeah.
Put
No one's
both
winning.
hands on top of the wheel.
Like, yeah,
And don't
50% of the country
reach
gets a
for
Republican.
roadblocks
Cool.
because someone
What about the other
may shoot you.
50%?
But a black parent, no matter how wealthy or how poor they are, has to
It's
teach their
just-
child when you're walking down the street, don't have a hoodie on when you go across the street. Making sure that you, in fact, if you get pulled over, yes, sir, no, sir, hands on top of the wheel, because you are, in fact,
This question
a victim,
is,
whether you're a
do you
first
understand
maker,
why people of
$300,000 child of a
color
$300,000
fear for their
working
children?
person, or someone who's on food stamps. The fact of the matter is, there is institutional racism in America. And we have always said, we've never lived up to it, that we hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women are created equal. But guess what? We have never, ever lived up to it. But we've always constantly been moving the needle further and further to inclusion, not exclusion. This is the first president to come along and says, that's the end of that. We're not going to do that anymore. We
That's
have to
the end of
provide
that.
economic opportunity, better education, better
I'm
health,
sorry, I shouldn't laugh at
better
that,
access
but
to schooling, better access to opportunity to
gonna
borrow
cut
money
that
to
shit
start
out.
businesses. All the things we can do, and I've laid out a clear plan as to how to do those things.
You know,
Just to
I'm
give
not
people a shot.
arguing
It's about
against
accumulating the ability to have
institutional
wealth as
racism.
well as it is to be free
Institutional
from
racism,
violence.
right?
President
We hear
Trump,
that.
same question to you.
We hear
I'm
that
gonna
all the
remind
time
you
in the
of
political
question. I would
atmosphere,
like
right?
you to speak directly to these families.
I've
Do
never
you
heard someone
understand why
state
parents fear for their children?
Yes, I do. And again,
an
he's been in
institute
government
that is
47 years. He never
racist.
did a thing except in 1994
Yeah.
when he
But
did
I
such harm
I
to
don't
the
know.
black community.
I think
they were called,
institutional racism is very.
And he said
If it
that.
was
He said
black
it
and white
several
like that,
predators,
obviously would be
and
called
they
out.
have
You know what I
never
mean?
lived that down.
But
I
it's
think
just-
that's the hard part, though. I mean,
Yeah,
you're saying,
no-
or the argument is that there's
Nobody has done
institutional
more for the
racism in
black
America.
Yeah.
community than Donald Trump.
I haven't heard one. I mean,
mean-
of course, I've never been discriminated,
Yeah, no.
and I'm not taking away from anyone that has.
Nobody has done
But I would
what
like,
criminal justice
if
reform,
if someone can
Obama
correct me,
and Joe.
you can message us on Instagram,
I don't even
Please.
think
or
they tried
YouTube.
because they had no chance of doing it.
and
They might have wanted to
tell
do
me,
it, but
please,
you had to see the
'cause I wanna
odds
know.
had a twist to get that done. It was not a
Yeah,
good
I just think it's
picture,
more,
and everybody knows it, including
because I
somebody
think
who
the
was
silent
vocal
racist
that
is a lot
cried in
more
my office. They
dangerous
cried in the Oval Office 2
than the
weeks
very
later, they're
vocal
out saying,
racist.
"Gee, we have to defeat him."
You know what I mean?
Criminal
And I think,
justice
like,
reform,
and
prison reform,
I portray that towards
opportunity
businesses.
zones.
You know,
We take
these
this guy,
businesses
a
aren't
great
gonna,
senator from
just
South
be
Carolina.
inherently racist
He
and
came in
be,
with this incredible idea
on the
for
news and
Mhm.
like they
It's
could,
one of
like
the
they
most
could have,
successful
Yeah.
back then.
programs.
But
People don't
do I
talk
think
about
there's,
it. Tremendous
racism on
investment
a
is
level?
being
Yeah.
the biggest
Do I
Yeah,
think,
I do too. I agree with you.
like, do I think,
communities.
certain
And then
people of color have
historically
a better
black
chance to make it in America?
colleges,
Yeah.
after
You know,
3
are-
years of
are
coming to
the
office,
majority
I love
of,
some those guys. They were great. They came into the
People of
office
color,
and they said,
are they
"This is
doing
what
very
we
well?
did after
No.
3 years."
Are
They
they
said,
a lot of
"We
them
have to
poor?
come
Yes.
back."
There's a lot of very poor
Because we
white
have
people as
this
well.
thing. I said, "You
You
don't
know,
have to come
but
back every year.
um,
We have to come back because President Obama
it's just
would
the fact of
never
the matter.
give
Like, if you're,
long-term
if
funding,
you're,
and I did.
and I hate to
10
put it
years
on color, but
of
that's just what it is.
funding, and I
Like,
gave
if you're a
them
white
more
person in
money
America, you just
than
have
they
better
had
chances.
because I said, "I
You have
gave
better
before."
chances to,
And I
for
said, "The only
schooling,
bad
for
part about
jobs.
this is I may never see you again because
You
I'm
know, a
never
lot of people of
friendly
color
with
don't
them,
get those
and they like me
opportunities.
and I like them. But I saved it. Colleges and universities.
Okay, and we're going to talk about both of your records, but your response to that, Vice
My
President.
response to that is I never, ever said what he accused me of saying. The fact of the matter is, in 2000, though, after the crime bill had been in
Fuck what
in
these
the
two are
law
saying.
for a while,
Back
this is
back
the
to
guy
that
who
though.
said, "The
I lost
problem
my
with
train of
crime bill
thought.
is not enough people in jail.
Because
There's
I
not
remember-
enough
I always
people in
get
jail."
lost when I
And
see
go on
someone
my
walk by.
website,
I'm
get
just
the
like,
quote
yeah,
the
what are they
date
doing?
when he said it.
Um,
Not enough people.
Too many
He
people in
talks
this goddamn
about
house.
broadening gangs,
but I think if you look at the areas that are the poorest, whether it's black, white, Mexican, whatever it may be, I think it all ties back to education.
Yeah.
Which
and talk about
correct me if I'm wrong.
He did, in fact.
There's not a single subject from the first to the second to the third fucking debate talking about education.
Over 1,000. The very law he's talking about is a law that.
Why?
in fact,
Why,
initiated
people?
by Barack
Someone tell me
Educated
why.
people are the biggest threat to politics.
Jesus. I remember it was a key issue when I was a kid. Like when maybe it was Bush or whoever it was that was running for president. Education was a big thing. We do not talk about it no more. Why?
It's just it's a threat. You know, do you think they want educated people to
No, I mean,
call them out on facts? And I mean, people. I mean, there are people that do that, but yeah,
yeah, I mean, that's the easy answer, right? I mean, they don't want to educate us, but we're electing these people.
yeah.
You know, I mean,
But I think this shows like these candidates show. I mean, a lot of the education level, in America.
You know, Joe, I ran because of you. I ran because of Barack Obama. Because you did a poor job. If I thought you did a good job, I would have never run. I would have never run. I ran because of you. I'm looking at you now. You're a politician. I ran because of you.
All right, Vice President Biden, your response.
Dang.
Wow.
And then I do have some questions for both of you.
Well, I tell you what, I hope he does look at me, because what's happening here is you know who I am. You know who he is. You know his character. You know my character. You know our reputations for honor and telling the truth. I am anxious to have this race. I am anxious to see this take place. The character of the country is on the ballot. Our character is on the ballot. Look at us closely.
Let me ask some follow-up.
Excuse me.
Please respond,
If
and then we're
this
going to have
stuff
follow-up
is
questions.
true about Russia, Ukraine, China, other countries, Iraq, if this is true, then he's a corrupt politician.
All right.
So don't give me the stuff about how you're this innocent baby. Joe, they're calling you a corrupt
I think corruption's across the board, man.
President Trump,
If you were,
Yep.
I could.
we're talking about the issue.
I think if
President Trump, we're talking about race right now, and I do
I
want
think
to
if
talk about the issue
lobbyism
of race.
is in the
President
mix,
Trump, just
Oh,
that's
dude.
corruption.
Yeah.
very
That's
quickly.
You're creating laws or protecting laws for your best interest because you might get a little donation to your foundation if you keep this law going.
It's like it's like another fucking biggest threat to us. You know
Yeah.
what I mean, like when you start to get what we need. We need in this country are politicians who start to care more about what the people want, right? Instead of the companies that are paying $100 million for them.
I want to stay on the issue of race.
Like, and when that changes, is when things will change.
We're going to continue on the issue of race, Mr. President.
But, like,
you
it-
described the Black Lives
On
Matter movement
a more
as
like
people of hate.
systematic level,
Shared a video
like the
of a
president
man
is only one
granting
problem
white power to
of this
millions
whole
of
spider web,
voters.
right?
You
Mhm.
said that
Like
black
you fix,
professional
yeah, you could
athletes
fix this,
exercising
right?
their First Amendment
And you could have the
rights should
best
be
president in the
fired.
world, but
Let
if
me
the
say to
system is still
Americans
wrong,
say
nothing's
that
gonna
kind of
happen.
language
Yeah.
from a president is contributing to a
And the
climate
problem
of
is too is it's a system that is going to take longer than 8 years to fix.
It's gonna be
And then
it's gonna be a lifelong thing, right? It's
Yeah.
gonna be it's just gonna be for
and
an eternity.
it's a continuous problem because 8 years goes by and then probably more than likely the party that was in power presidentially will get replaced by the other party.
Yeah, and then they have completely different views. from
Yes,
these
that's how
guys
it's always gone, right?
Yeah. It's just it's
it's
gonna be a flip-flop.
Racist person in this room.
Well, what do you say to that?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to say. I got criminal justice reform done, and prison reform, and opportunity zones. I took care of black colleges and universities. I don't know what to say. They can say anything. I mean, they can say
not the
anything.
least racist
It's a
person
very-
in this room.
It makes me sad because I am the least racist person. I can't even see the audience because it's so dark. But I don't care who's in the audience. I'm the least racist.
I think
person
the
in
better
this room.
choice of words would be like,
Okay, Vice President Biden,
I am
let me
not
ask you
racist,
very
not
quickly,
I am
and
the
then I have a
least
follow-up
racist.
question for you.
Abraham Lincoln here is one of the most
Yeah.
racist.
I'm like, all right, so
Okay,
you're
so
just a little
there's-
bit racist.
There's a racist in here somewhere. Oh, you're a little racist.
You're a little racist, okay? You're just the least racist.
It's all a bunch of super racists in
I
the
know,
room.
yeah.
He's banned Muslims because they're Muslims.
The correct choice would have been, I am not racist at all,
Everything
okay?
worse across the board. He says about the poor boys. Last time we were on
Poor
the
boys.
Poor boy.
You mean the Proud Boys?
About the poor boys.
That might have been intentional,
President Trump, I'm
actually.
going to give you 10
I
seconds
think
to
about it.
respond, and then I have a
No,
follow-up.
you made a reference to Abraham Lincoln. Where did that come in? I mean,
You said
where
you're
did that-
Abraham
No,
Lincoln.
where did that? No.
You said-
I said not since Abraham Lincoln has anybody
He did say
done
that.
what I've done for the black community.
And I'm
I didn't
saying-
say I'm Abraham Lincoln. I said not since Abraham Lincoln has anybody done what I've done for the black community. Now, you have done nothing other than the crime bill, which put
Oh, God.
tens of thousands
Oh,
of
God.
black men mostly.
You mean
in
you did
jail.
more
Alright,
for
let
black
me-
people than
let me
Obama?
Then
ask
remember
Vice
it,
President
because
Who was
you
a
look at
black
what's
president?
happening with the voting right now.
Possibly. I mean, I don't know what Obama did for
Treated
black
them
people.
Very, very badly.
The-
Just
the-
take a look at what's happening out there.
Vice President Biden, let me give you a chance to respond within this context. Crime bills that you
He said,
submitted
"I
in
am
the
Abraham
1990s
Lincoln."
contributed to the
No, I didn't say I am
incarceration
Abraham
of
Lincoln.
black men who had small amounts of drugs in their
No, you
possession.
said you're Abraham
Their
Lincoln, bro.
sons, their brothers, their fathers, their uncles, whose families are still to this day, some of them suffering the consequences. So speak to those families. Why should they vote for you?
One of the things is that in the 80s, we passed 100%, all 100 senators voted for it, a bill on drugs and how to deal with drugs. It was a mistake. I've been trying to change this since then, particularly
Legalize
the
'em.
portion on cocaine. That's why I've been arguing that, in fact, we should not send anyone to jail for a pure drug offense. They should be going into treatment across the board. That's what we should be spending money. That's why I set up drug courts, which were never funded by our Republican friends. They should not be going to jail for a drug or an alcohol problem. They should be going into treatment. Treatment. That's what we've been trying to do. That's what I'm going to get done, because I think maybe the American people have now seen that, in fact, it was a mistake to pass those laws relating to drug. But they were not in the crime bill.
But why didn't he get it done? See, it's all talk, no action with these politicians. Why didn't he get it done? That's what I'm going to do when I become president. You were vice president.
Bro, you can say the same thing about you, man.
Your leader for 8 years. Why didn't you get it done? You had 8 years to get it done. Now you're saying you're going to get it done because you're all talk and no action, Jim.
We got a lot of it done. We released
get
38,000.
anything
We got
done.
38,000 prisoners left from the.
You got nothing done.
38,000 prisoners were released from federal prison. There were over 1,000 people who were given clemency.
I think that's a big
We have,
statement,
in
though.
fact, we're the ones
Him
that
talking
put in the
about
legislation saying
if you're
we should
caught
look
with
at
drugs,
pattern
that
of
you
practice of police departments and what they were doing,
we should send
how
you
they
to
were
treatment
conducting
instead of
themselves.
jail.
I could go on, but we
That's
began
almost
the
like, okay,
process.
well,
We
are
began
you
the process.
legalizing
We lost an
drugs?
election. That's why
Well, yeah,
I'm voting
that
to
and
back that
you know
election
the
and
treatment
change
thing's
the
a
terrible
great
policy.
idea.
Yeah,
but
no, it
once
is.
again,
Yeah, but-
the question is
Why
how.
didn't you do
Yeah.
it in
How are we gonna
8
fund
years,
this?
A short time ago. Why didn't you do it? You just said, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. You put tens of thousands of mostly black young men in prison. Now you're saying you're going to undo that. Why didn't you get it done? You had 8 years with Obama. You know why,
Because-
Joe? Because you're all talk and no action.
All right, Vice President
Because
Biden, and then we're going to move on to the next section.
Yeah, just legalize it.
Yeah. What do you say?
That's the answer.
What?
Wait, fuck. What do you say?
I don't know.
All right.
We had a Republican
We're gonna
Congress.
move on to our
Oh,
next
okay.
section,
Like I did
which
with
is
criminal
climate
justice reform. I had
Okay.
to talk Democrats into it.
Gentlemen,
You did what
we're
we've
running out of
already done.
time, so we got to get on
I
to
think.
climate change.
Do I think
You both
Joe?
have very
I don't. The
different
crime bill. Do I
views
think
on
he
climate
meant to
change.
put
President Trump, you say that
all these
environmental
like young black
regulations
Americans
hurt
in jail?
jobs
Of
in the
course
energy
not.
sector.
Probably not.
Vice
Were they
President Biden,
disproportionately?
you have
Were
said you
like?
see addressing climate
And it's
change
just because
as an
of
opportunity
poverty.
to
Were
create
they
new jobs.
like black
For each
Americans
of you,
disproportionately
how would you both combat
committing
climate
crimes
change
and
support job
you
growth
know
at the same
drug-related
time?
offenses?
Starting
Yeah,
with you, President Trump,
but that's
you
just the
have two
situation they were in.
minutes.
Like they had
At
like,
that point,
at
it
the
was
end-
already running rampant
Yeah.
in the community.
At the end of the day, they have to resort to that. You know, they have nothing in place to help these people. Like, you know, you have to understand why people turn to crime and all this shit. Do I think all black people are inherently like, you know, no, they don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, there's white people that do that. You know, because guess what? They're in poor communities and they turn to that.
Yeah.
But like I said earlier, it's just a system that's put into place. Like people of color are kind of set up for failure.
Yeah.
We are working so well with industry, but here's what we can't do. Look at China, how filthy it is. Look at Russia. Look at India. It's filthy.
Hey, don't
The-
talk
Hey,
about our
what the
Indian
hell?
friends, okay?
The Paris Accord, I took us out because we were going to have to spend trillions of dollars.
Our Indian followers go kick his ass.
When they put us in there, they did
Get
us a
'em.
great disservice. They were going to take away our businesses. I will not
Fuck, I gotta pee too.
tens
Is this
of
almost over?
millions of jobs,
I think it's supposed to be done at 7:30.
Okay.
Because of the Paris
Okay, let me
Accord.
pee real quick.
It was so unfair.
There's 7 minutes
China
left, and you're gonna leave me?
Until 2030. Russia goes
All
back
right,
to a
I'm
low
just gonna talk
standard,
shit.
And we kicked in
Fucking
right away.
Andy.
It would have destroyed our businesses. So, you ready? We have done an
Since
incredible
92.
job environmentally.
What the
We
fuck?
steer the cleanest water and the best carbon emission standards that we've seen in many, many years.
Vice President
And we
Biden.
haven't destroyed our industries.
Vice President Biden, 2 minutes to you, uninterrupted.
Climate change, climate warming, global warming is the next essential threat to humanity. We have a moral obligation to deal with it. And we're told by all the leading scientists in the world, we don't have much time. We're going to pass the point of no return within the next 8 to 10 years. 4 more years of this man eliminating all the regulations that were put in by us to clean up the climate, to limit the limit of emissions, will put us in a position where we're going to be in real trouble. Here's where we have a great opportunity. I was able to get both all the environmental organizations as well as labor, people worried about jobs, to support my climate plan. Because what it does, it will create millions of new good-paying jobs. We're going to invest in, for example, 500,000, 50,000 charging stations on our highways so that we can own the electric car.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at Joe Biden taking this very serious claim about climate change. Andy said something funny, and I heard him from upstairs.
Buildings and 2 million existing homes.
Damn it, miss
and
climate change.
retrofit them so they don't leak
Yeah.
much energy, saving
I've said it before,
hundreds of
you know.
millions of barrels of oil in
The ideal
process,
thing to
and
do
creating
is, you know,
significant
not
number of jobs.
solely get rid of
And by the way, the whole
fossil
idea
fuels.
of
Yes.
what this is all gonna do
you
is
know,
gonna
you gotta
create
gotta
millions
weed
of
it off, right?
and
It's like a
going to
bad
clean
drug. You
our
can't just fucking go
health,
cold
and our
turkey.
jobs are at
You're gonna
stake.
shock your system. You're gonna
That's what's
die.
happening.
Yeah,
And
it's
what
hard
right
for me to
now, by the
care
way, Wall Street firms
when Trump
indicate
says
that
about
my
jobs,
plan-
and it's hard for me to care about
my
jobs
plan
that
will in fact create
um,
18.6 million
and this
jobs,
might be shitty to
7
say,
million
but that
more
emit like the
gas
most
through
fossil
Wall Street.
fuels or like
And
factories and shit.
I'll create
I was like,
$1
man,
trillion
I
more
don't.
in economic
The country's
growth
fucking.
than his
I mean, the
proposal
country, the
does.
fucking.
Not on climate,
The world
just
is
on
fucking
economy.
ending. Right?
President Trump.
You can.
Today came out and said
You can
very
stop,
strongly,
your
$6,500
fucking
will
factory.
be taken away from families under his plan. That his plan is an economic disaster. If you look at what he wants to do, you know if you look at his plan,
Nothing
his
to do with
environmental
climate.
plan, you know who developed it? AOC plus 3. They didn't know about the climate. I mean, she's got a
AOC
good
plus
line of
3.
stuff, but she knows nothing about the climate, and they're all hopping through hoops for AOC plus 3. Look, their real plan costs $100
AOC is
billion.
beautiful.
If we had the
I have
best
to say.
plan in the
I
history
think so
of our
too, man.
country,
Yeah.
for 100
She's
years,
beautiful.
we would
Don't agree with
not
everything
even
that
be
she
close
says,
to a number
but
like that.
she's
She's a woman in
beautiful.
power, man.
They want to take buildings down
Out of
because
nowhere
they
too.
know
Yeah.
windows
She was
are
just some random chick.
as far as they're
Where'd she come from? New York?
concerned, no window, it would be
Yeah.
a lovely thing.
I think-
Brooklyn?
This is the
I think.
craziest
Yeah, I
plan
think
that
some
anybody has
suburb
ever
of,
seen.
or not suburb.
And this wasn't done by
Area of
smart
New York.
Some
people.
rough
This was
neighborhood.
done by
Came out of nowhere.
Woman
Became a
color-
senator,
Woman
right?
of color too.
politically.
Yeah.
They want to spend
Beautiful.
$100 trillion. That's their
She
real
was
number.
playing
They tried
fucking
to
Among
say
Us?
it was 6.
I did see that, which you
They
know,
wanna knock down buildings
I don't
and
care
build
much
new
for. Like that's cool and all, but at the end of the day, that's not what I care for. Like my senator to be doing or a senator to be doing.
She,
To me, I feel like that's just trying to buy votes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trying to be that cool.
maybe
Senator.
yeah. But
$100 trillion.
somebody posted because she was at that little like a little camera Twitch box.
Yeah,
where it
yeah.
shows you. Somebody put her little camera and then the Call of Duty 4 fucking elevator. You know what I mean? And she's smiling and like playing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she was getting ready to start that mission. I was like, oh fuck.
No Russian.
Yeah, no, there you go.
And wind. He thinks wind causes cancer. Windmills. It's the fastest.
This dude wanted to fucking nuke a hurricane.
They pay good prevailing wages, $45-50 an hour.
Operation Nukem.
We can grow and we can be cleaner if we go the route I'm proposing.
President Trump.
Excuse me.
Oh, it's the
Respond, and then
green
I have
fucking
We
deal
are
or whatever.
energy independent
I don't know
for
if
the
he's
first time.
saying
We
the
don't
Green New
need
Deal,
all of
but
these
he has a
countries that we
climate
had to
plan
fight war
apparently.
over 'cause we needed their energy. We are energy independent. I know more about wind than you do. It's extremely expensive. Kills all the birds. It's very intermittent. Got a lot of problems, and they happen to make
He
the
said-
windmills in both
I
Germany
know
and
more
China.
about wind
And
than
this
you
I
is
know
do.
more about
coming
wind
up
than
if
you
you're a
do.
believer in carbon emission. The fumes coming up to make these massive windmills is more than anything that we're talking about with
I don't think we're
natural
not
gas,
energy
which is virtually
independent.
one other thing.
Find me a
We need
solar
oil
center.
like
I
from
love
other
solar.
countries, right?
Yeah,
Solar
yeah.
That's
doesn't
not
quite have it
independent.
yet. It's not powerful yet to really run our big, beautiful.
I know more
factories
about
that we
wind than
need
you
to
do.
compete with the world. So it's all a pipe
False.
dream. But you know what we'll do? We're going to have the greatest economy in the world. But if you want to kill the economy, get rid of
What the hell is
your
that?
oil industry.
I don't know,
You
it's
want-
been doing it.
And what about fracking?
All right,
Now-
let me
now we have to ask him about
allow
fracking.
Vice President Biden to
Now we
respond.
have to ask him about
I
fracking, the
oppose
president
fracking.
says.
You said it on tape.
I did.
I
show
think
the
this is
tape.
healthy,
Put it
man.
on your website.
I'll put it on.
Huh?
I think it's healthy because he said I did say I oppose fracking,
Lying.
Would you rule out banning
but
fracking?
he's gonna
I
say
do rule out banning fracking because the answer we need.
that's what we fucking need, man. We
other
need these politicians to be like, yes, I said this,
to
you know,
transition
but I
to
thought
get
differently
to
then.
ultimately
Yeah.
Now,
complete zero emissions by 2025. What I will do with fracking over time is make sure that we can capture the emissions from the fracking, capture the emissions
Perfect.
from gas. We can do that, and we can do that by investing money and doing it. But it's a transition to that.
I have one
Perfect.
more question in this pod, and then we
Excuse
meet.
me,
we have-
he was against fracking.
Okay,
He
yeah.
said it. I will show that to you tomorrow. I
Good.
am against fracking. Until he got the nomination, went to Pennsylvania, then he said, but you know what, Pennsylvania? He'll be against it very soon because his party is totally against it.
Fracking on federal land, I said. No fracking
You said-
and or oil on
didn't say
federal
Let
land.
me ask this
I
final
did.
question in this section, and then I want to move
you see,
on
like
to
it's
our
hard for me
final
to care
section.
about
President
fracking.
Trump, people
Like
of
if it's
color are
harmful to the
much more
fucking
likely to
environment
live
and to
near
the
oil
climate,
refineries
like
and
too
chemical
fucking
plants.
bad, dude.
In Texas, there are
Like,
families
that's
who
how I
worry
feel
the
right now.
plants near them are making them sick. Your administration has rolled back regulations on these kinds of facilities. Why should these families give you
Biden's
another
taking
4
off
years in
that
office?
$15,000 Rolex he got on.
Yeah.
Employed heavily, and they're
I'm just
making
kidding.
a
I don't
lot
know
of
if it's a
money,
fucking
more money
Rolex.
than they've ever
It
made.
probably fucking is.
If you
Look, he's
look
cleaning
at
it.
the kind of numbers that we produce
He's
for
checking what
Hispanic
time it is.
or
Damn,
black,
bitch, I've been
Yeah,
up here for a
bro,
while. My
fucking-
legs are hurting.
This goddamn thing almost over.
Percentage gain than
You're
it
getting
was
fucking
under-
blood
in
clot.
3 years than it was under 8 years of the two of them, to put it nicely. 9 times more. Now, somebody lives, I have not heard the numbers or the statistics that you're saying.
Statistics.
But they're making a tremendous amount of money economically. We saved it. And I saved it again a number of months ago when oil was crashing because of the pandemic. We saved
Damn,
it.
you getting your
We
steps
got
in, dude?
saved one about relationships.
You getting your steps
We got
in?
Saudi Arabia, Mexico,
You just been
and
coming up and
Russia.
down for like the last 10 minutes.
Way back, we saved the oil industry, and now it's very vibrant again.
All
And
right.
everybody has very inexpensive gasoline. Remember
Vice
that.
President Biden, your response, and then we're going to have a final question for both of you.
My response
bum,
is
bum.
that those people live on what they call fence lines. He doesn't understand this. They live near chemical plants that in fact pollute, chemical plants and oil plants and refineries that pollute. I used to live near that when I was growing up in Claymont, Delaware. And all the more oil refineries in Marcus Hook and the Delaware
Wrong.
River than there is any place, including in Houston at the time. When my mom get in the car and when there was first frost to drive me to school, turn in the windshield wiper, there'd be oil slick in the window. That's why so many people in my state were dying and getting cancer. The fact is those frontline communities, it doesn't matter what you're paying them, it matters how you keep them safe. What do you do? And you impose restrictions on the pollutions, the pollutants coming out of those fence line communities.
Okay, I have one final
Would he
question.
close
It
down
falls-
the oil industry?
It falls.
Would you close
It
down the
falls-
oil
By the way, I
industry?
would transition from the oil
Christ.
industry, yes.
Oh,
I will
that's a big
transition.
statement.
It is a big statement
That's a big
because
statement.
I would stop
Why would you do that?
because the oil industry pollutes significantly.
Thank you.
I see.
Here's the deal, but
That's
you
a
can't
big
do that.
statement.
Well, if you let me finish the statement, because it has to be replaced by renewable energy over time, and I'd stop giving to the oil industry. I'd stop giving them federal subsidies. He won't give federal subsidies to the gas. Excuse me, to solar and wind.
Yeah.
Why are we giving it to oil industry?
We actually do give
All right.
it to solar and wind.
We
And
have
that's
one
maybe the
final
biggest
question.
statement in terms of business. That's the biggest statement.
Okay.
Because
We have
basically
one
what he's
final
saying
question,
is he is
Mr.
going to
President.
destroy the oil industry. Will you remember that, Texas? Will you
Okay.
remember that, Pennsylvania, Oklahoma?
Vice President Biden, let me give you 10 seconds to respond, and then I
Ohio.
have to get to the final question. Vice President Biden.
It takes everything out of context, but the point is, look, we have to move toward a net zero emissions. The first place to do that by the year 2035 is in energy production, by 2050 totally.
All right. One
Is he gonna
final
get
question
China to
vote.
do it?
No, we're finished with this.
he
We
going
have
to
to
get
move on
China
to
to
our
do it?
final
Oh,
question.
Jesus, dude.
But that's
Let her
not-
go
that's
on
not
the last
popular,
question.
man. That's not a popular statement. Like, people hear that, and obviously they're going to be turned off by it.
Leadership,
Like, what?
gentlemen.
You can-
And
you-
this first
you know,
question does go to you,
no more oil
President
jobs?
Trump.
I'm gonna be out of a
Imagine
job?
this
No,
is
you're
your
not gonna be out of a job,
inauguration
dude.
day. What will you
Why
say
can't we
in
just
your
transition
address
that
to
over?
To Americans
Like, yeah,
who did not vote for you? You'll each have 1 minute, starting with you, Mr.
We have to make a country totally successful as it was prior to the plague coming in from China. Now we're rebuilding it, and we're doing record numbers, 11.4 million jobs in a short period of time, etc. But I will tell you, go back. Before the plague came in, just before, I was getting calls from people that were not normally people that would call me. They wanted to get together. We had the best black unemployment numbers in the history of our country. Hispanic, women, Asian, people with diplomas, with no diplomas, MIT graduates, #1 in the class. Everybody had the best numbers. And you know what? The other side wanted to get together. They wanted to unify.
This question is, what will you
Success
say
is
to
going
Americans
bring
who
us
do not vote
together.
for you?
We are on the road to success. But I'm cutting taxes, and he wants to raise everybody's taxes, and he wants to put new regulations on everything. He will kill it. If he gets in, you will have a depression, the likes of which you've never seen. Your 401ks will go to hell, and it'll be a very, very sad day for this country.
Listen, no one should invest in a fucking 401k. I'm telling you that now. There's better things you can invest your money into.
Is was that like
I
a
will say, I'm an American president. I represent all of you, whether you voted for me or
what's
against
the word?
me.
I guess
And
like
I'm gonna make
constituents. Was
sure
that like when the
you're
Great Depression
represented.
happened, were
We're gonna
taxes
give you
high?
hope. We're going to move. We're going to choose science over fiction.
No,
We're
I
gonna
think
choose hope
I
over
think
fear.
just people
We're gonna
fucking
choose to move
started
forward because we have an enormous
started selling their stocks real fucking quick,
Okay,
and
well,
then
I mean,
better.
it
We
sent
can
the
grow
stock
this
market into
economy.
shock, I
We
think.
can deal with the systemic racism, and at the same time, we
I
can
think
make
it's
sure that
because
our
of,
economy is being run and moved and motivated
the-
by clean energy, creating millions of
If
new
taxes are
jobs.
increased,
And
then
that's a
companies
fact.
start
That's
cutting
what we're gonna
workers,
do.
and
And I'm
then
gonna
you
say,
know,
as I said at the beginning, what is on
I don't
the
think the
ballot
same
here
amount of
is the
funding would
character
go
of
into
this country.
things.
Yeah.
I imagine that would
Honor,
be the argument of
respect,
how
treating people with
depression would
dignity,
happen.
making sure that
So,
everyone
just-
has
it's
an
a
even chance.
cycle.
And I'm gonna make
Yeah,
sure
it's
you
an
get
eff-
that.
well,
You
an
haven't been
effect.
getting it the last 4 years.
All right, I want to thank you both for a very robust hour and a half, a fantastic debate. Really appreciate it. President Trump, former Vice President Joe Biden, thank you to Belmont University for hosting us tonight. And most importantly, thank you to those
You got the
watching
remote?
tonight. Election Day is November 3rd. Don't forget to vote. Thank you, everyone, and have a great night.
Thank you.
So there you have
Holy
it.
shit. I didn't realize how close that was.
You wanna turn the TV off?
A few weeks ago.
That was an hour and a half. Oh yeah, it was.
Let's turn it down.
That was a good debate.
I would say so.
Much better than the first one, I would say.
Who's that?
That's Melania Trump.
Oh, okay.
I thought she was sick.
Like he puts on his mask.
Oh, and there's Joe Biden's wife.
You can't kiss through a mask, dude. Anyway, maybe I should turn it off.
It's very awkward. God, it's very awkward. What the fuck?
Bitch, did you just eat that?
Did she take a bite out of it?
Yeah. All right, well, fucking. I guess you're gonna might die. But hold on. I think I just fucking got a text from like one of those Prop 16.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dude, I've been getting those. This last one was like, it said maybe Adriana. I'm like, I don't know no fucking Adriana. So I
Yeah.
open it. It's like, I'm Adriana, and you should vote no on 23 because I had this, and this. Like, fuck you. I don't care who you are. Like, I don't know how. I wish I didn't fucking register to vote. I've never been so annoyed in my life.
Yeah,
I hate watching ads on YouTube, and I gotta go through this shit every day. Come on, man. What the hell?
Shit too. But yeah, I would say it was definitely better than the first one.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the extensiveness of them, their plan, aren't quote unquote plans or any problems that they talked about was pretty good as well.
Yeah.
But apparently, Trump knows more about wind than Joe Biden. Yeah, I know about.
I don't know how any man can make a statement like that.
I know more about wind than you. That was hilarious. But yeah, it was good. You know, I don't feel like so drained after that.
Yeah, I'd agree. Like I don't. There's I'm not in my head thinking like, man, this is terrible. You know, it was actually a good debate. I feel like they both touched on key things and both brought up opposing arguments that the other has like done. You know, because Trump could totally attack Biden's 8 years as vice president and what has he done, or his 47 years in office. And Biden can definitely go after him for the whole coronavirus pandemic and all those things.
Yeah, there's definitely valid points on each side.
Yeah.
Valid arguments. Do you think the mic cutting was good? Was a good thing?
I do.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think Trump has a better chance on fighting in a one-on-one debate when he just shuts up, right? Just let the person talk, because it looks bad when you're cutting the person off, letting them speak. It's just plain out rude. Everyone's been taught this in their lives, right?
Yeah.
I think it did help him, and I was wrong. I thought Biden was going to ramble when he was given the time to speak. There was only, I don't know, the poor boy thing. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but that was pretty funny.
I feel like it might have been, but it could have not been.
Yeah, I don't know.
His brain is probably just mush.
There was a few words that he just like kind of, you know, like jumbled, but wasn't that big of a deal. No, it was good.
Yeah, I'm not upset with it.
Yeah.
I was definitely, my excitement was justified. You know, that's what I want to see. I want to see, like, you know, just have a healthy fucking debate, man. Like, quit interrupting. Like, just listen. You know, fucking.
I have a question for you to put you on the spot.
Oh God.
For you to give me an answer. Okay.
I think I might know what it is.
If I was to give you.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
If I was to give you $100,000, but the only way you get your money is if you have to bet it on one of the two to win. Who do you think's winning?
That's a hard question. I guess I'm trying not to be a little biased, but I don't know, man. I'm thinking like gun to my head. I feel like Trump might just still win it.
I agree with you.
And that's not because I want him to win.
Yeah,
I don't want Joe Biden to win either. But
I don't care for either of them, like I said. But after the first debate, I was truly like, wow, Biden might actually have a chance. But I don't know. I've wavered back to I don't see how Trump loses. But then again, I don't know, because the other thing that's striking to me is, you know, the last election is the poll numbers. The poll numbers were all on Hillary Clinton's side. It was something ridiculous. Like, she had no chance of losing by the polls. And then come election night, it was just fucking state after state just red, right? But this time around, it's kind of even. It's within the margin of error, they would say, of going one way or the other. So I wonder if the polls are actually a little more correct this time than it was last time. Because after the last election, I'm like, I'm not listening to these fucking polls ever again.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to listen to polls because you have to. I guess you have to take into account too. Are the people that are polling, are they voting as well? You know what I mean? Like,
where do you go to do these polls?
Where do you go to do that? Because if these people that are polling aren't voting, then what credibility do those polls have?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think either way, the election day is just going to be a very either way is going to be an upsetting day for people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wonder if, since this whole mail-in shit, I wonder if something is going to go wrong. Or they're like, because I know you can demand a recount, right?
Yes, you can.
So I wonder if that's going to happen. For whoever wins.
I know in Florida, it's always like, I don't know, they have to count it like at least 2 or 3 times over, you know? So if it's all mail-in there, which I don't think it is. I think, you know, a lot of states are still doing like walk-in mail or votes, walk-in votes. But if they have to mail in theirs, I can only imagine how long it'll take for Florida.
Yeah. That's the thing. I feel like there might be like a demand for a recount. So...
You mean if there's it
would be
angry orange man that lost?
Yeah, I mean even the other side, even Biden, I feel like could do that because I think Bernie Sanders did it.
Did he?
I think he did it when they were trying to figure out the nominee. You know, because I mean, even though Joe Biden won by a landslide, but yeah, I think Bernie Sanders did it.
Yeah,
but that'd be crazy if whoever wins and then they recount it and then it was wrong.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if that's ever happened in history. I doubt it.
I think that would be fucking nuts. But either way, yeah, someone's going to be unhappy.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see.
What I wanted to check is, what day is November 3rd? Is that a Wednesday?
Oh, yeah, that'd be...
It's a Tuesday. God damn it. I wanted to get fucked up that night. Why is it always like during the week?
I know. They're like, make election day on a weekend, huh? Allow people to drink their sorrows away.
Yeah, maybe I can call out of work the next day.
How long is election day? Is it a whole day?
I believe so. I believe it starts...
Well, it's called election day, but is the whole, like...
When they start counting?
Yeah, day?
I think so, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah.
But we do plan on recording on election day and just... It's going to be a long night and probably a long episode.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to drink.
Yeah, me too.
Even watching this debate, it was fucking tough.
I gotta not care that I have work the next day. So I think it's right to go into the next president, you know, a little blasted.
Yeah.
So
if there is a next president too, I mean...
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Friends over in India, it's not a happy time over here in America, okay?
Oh, stay tuned for that election day, okay?
We got 2 really old guys fighting for president, which naturally there always is. But, yeah.
And there was an old woman at one point.
Yeah. But come on, no one liked her. She wasn't that honest. I mean, that's much to say with Trump, too.
One of the polls said that people thought what she said was only 36%. What was it?
Of her being honest.
Yeah, of her being honest.
36% of people felt like she was honest.
Oh, my God.
But yeah, man, I was really looking forward to going into this election season and voting, but there's nothing encouraging. Like, if anything, I feel more discouraged. Me personally, the way I see it is if I vote for one guy, I'm going to be called a racist. And personally, for the other side, the way I see it is I'm voting for a guy whose party doesn't even really know what kind of identity they want to be. I mean, the list can go on with Trump being, a liar, Trump saying ridiculous things. He knows win better than Joe Biden. The whole Hunter Biden thing truly fucking bothers me to my core. I really want to know what's going on there. I just don't. I don't trust either of them.
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't trust any politician.
No.
You know, 'cause they obviously have hidden agendas. But I mean, at this point, it's not. And I've said this before. It's not about, you know what I mean, whether someone votes for anybody, whether they're bad or not. But it's just like, at the end of the day, like, one of these guys is going to be our president.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Whatever political party that you're on. And at the end of the day, like, you know, you live here.
Mm.
Like, we have to get along somehow.
Yeah.
We have to, like, come together, even if it's, like, against your fucking core and what you believe in. Like, at the end of the day, like, it's just not something that you tried to change it by voting. I get that. But, you know, like, voting doesn't always go in your favor.
Obviously, with the last election,
Yeah. And
Hillary won the popular vote, but that's not the game we play in
Yeah.
America.
So it's, you know, and I could say, you know, I could say that till I'm blue in the face, you know, but in reality, it's just gonna be, you know, we're gonna be divided politically, always. So I guess until parties change, you know.
Yeah. You know, did you see that video with the two guys that are running for, I think, Senate in Utah?
I didn't.
Dude, I got to give it up to them. They both created a campaign ad together where they're both standing by one another and said that, you know, they may disagree on things, but at the end of the day, they are Americans.
Yeah.
You know, and they just believe that the way they view things is what is best for America. And at the
Yeah.
end of it, they both said that they supported the message, you know, how they always do.
Mhm.
But, dude, that's what we need right now.
Yeah, we do.
That is what we need. Two
Okay.
guys that come together on opposing issues and say, at the end of the day, you know, we're Americans.
Yeah, and I'll give it to Biden. I mean, he does say that every now and then. You know, even though whatever color, he's like, I don't care if, you know, when I'm president, if you're a red or blue state, I'm gonna be an American president at the
Mhm.
end of the day. You
Or
know?
he even said that if Trump won, he's going to support him.
Yeah,
You know?
which is refreshing to hear. You know, but I mean, it's obviously easy to say that.
Yeah, yeah. How
You
much
know?
of it is smoke?
Yeah. So I guess if he does win, we'll see. And if he doesn't win, we'll see.
Yeah. But, friends, November 3rd, we will be recording the election day.
Yep.
As for now, I think we should sign off on this series of debates.
Debates. Yeah, this is the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until another 4 years from now.
Yeah. Counting down.
Yep. We're signing off on this series for a while. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Whose episode is next?
Well, it would be the election days next, right?
No.
Oh, it's 22nd.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought it was the 28th. I don't know.
So we have one episode
Yeah.
between it.
It could just be a lottery. Just go from there.
We'll make James do it.
Yeah, that motherfucker wasn't here. It's his turn.
All right. With that, then, I am signing off. Remember, only you can prevent forest fires. Don't let the man get you down. And we'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.
Yep. Bye.